The way. Yo, Raider Nation, what is good? Yes, sir. That boy JJ is him, most definitely. Visual combo. I see you, man. Bro, Josh Jacobs went off and he really carried this offense, bro. Really carried this offense. 6 touchdowns in the combined last 2 games. That's crazy. That's crazy. Shout out to everybody that's already in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all pulling up. I'm out here dealing with these damn weirdos on the internet, man. I'm telling you, these people on the internet being some weirdos. That's why you got to stay off of Twitter. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. It is what it is. Shout out everybody in the chat, bro. Kenson M in the building. He said, "Let's do it, Raid." Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir, man. We're gonna have a victory Monday tomorrow. We're gonna have a victory Monday tomorrow. But let's see who's in the building. Marvin Lewis was cracking with you, man. We got that much needed dub. Yes, we did. And you already know it was a very anticipated win, right? It was a very anticipated win. We're going up against the Texans. Everybody expected us to get this dub. But one thing I would say is there was a slight moment there, right? There was a slight moment there to where we all were kind of like, man, when are we going to go ahead and break away from this team? And it wasn't until, in the midst of the third quarter, in the second half, most definitely, is when we finally started to get that comfortable lead. Shout out to everybody in the chat, though, man. Marvin Lewis, my guy, Johnny, yes, sir. Kevin Lurker in the building, got that W. Raiders, yes, sir, yes, sir. Cody in the building says McDaniels got to stop at those trick plays. Glad we got the win. Shout out to Carr. Shout out to Jacobs. Shout out to Jacobs, man, because he's carrying this offense. I'm telling you, that man is carrying this offense, and everybody else is looking good, feeding off of the run. And I'm not saying it in a way of nobody else is doing good, but it's the fact that really, when you pay attention to the game, based off of Josh Jacobs, we were able to develop the play action pass. And then off of the play action pass, we were able to go out and pass however really we wanted because everybody was concerned with the run game at that point, especially because we sold it in the first half. In the first half, we would just run. We would continue to run, and we were trying to figure it out whether we're going to pass or run. Finally, in the second half, we committed to the run. And then because of that, we were able to finally set up a lot of those play action passes, man. Shout out to you, Cody, for pulling up. Dominique 5 in the building. What's good with you, man? What's up with you? What's up with the digital Prez cousin? What's good? You see them weirdos on the internet, Prez? I'm telling you, bro. I'm like, bro, this man gon' tag me in a post, and then when I respond and I say, I don't know what you're talking about, he just tags me again in a post and says, a casual fan. I'm like, bro, you're tagging me. Like, you're tagging me and posting about me. I ain't even saying nothing to you, and you're a weirdo. You feel me? It is a weirdo stuff. JD out here, man, holding it down for SoCal. I see you, brother. I see you, brother. Blast Ramo. What's good with it, man? He says, finally a full 4-quarter game, and surprisingly, they win because of the run game. And Blast, let me know, Romo. And this is kind of something I definitely wanted to talk about. This is something I definitely want to talk about. Romo, why do you say it's surprisingly they win because of the run game? Why do you say surprisingly they win because of the run game? And I want to see what you have to say there. Matter of fact, everybody in the chat, why do you think it would be surprising that we won because of the run game? Y'all let me know. AJ Simpson in the building. What's good with you, dog? AJ, appreciate you pulling up. B-Rod's with us. What's up, Ray? Jacobs, MVP. Merrick needs to get better, Ray. Were we not just talking about Trayvon Merrick? Were we not just talking about in the pregame show? I was just talking about Trayvon Merrick and how I've been disappointed with his second year so far and how he's been struggling against tight ends and covering them. You talk about the Chargers game. He had problems covering Gerald Everett. You talk about he was sat out for a little bit, came back, and he had to cover Kelsey. And people talk about, okay, he held him 27 yards. We were doubling Kelsey. He was getting a lot of help there. But at the same time, Kelsey had 4 touchdowns, guys, right? So it's kind of hard to say he held Kelsey when he had 4 touchdowns. Then today, against the Texans tight end, and I would really want to see more from Merrick, man. And I agree, B-Rod. Merrick has to do better. And it's crazy because really not our best, but I would say a guy that we picked up in Deron Harmon. Deron Harmon steps up again and gets an interception, man. And not only does he get an interception, he returns it to the house. So shout out to Deron Harmon, though, our other safety. What's happening from the trenches? He says, got the dub, but we still need to do work. Showing up for 4 quarters. Definitely agree with you from the trenches. One thing I would definitely want to say is that we were able to score moderately, even though it didn't look like the fourth quarter. right? We still got 10 points in the first half, which isn't a lot. We would have loved to see more, but we still got 10 points. And it was a 10-10 game. But, in the second half, we were able to really turn it up. And in the fourth quarter is really what I expected from the offense this entire season. That's really where I wanted my point to get at, is that in this fourth quarter, how we played in this fourth quarter is what I expected from the offense this entire season. And it's not that I expected to score every single drive, because that's what they did in the fourth. They scored a touchdown. They didn't only score every drive in the fourth. They scored a touchdown in every drive in the fourth. And then not only that, the defense held the Texans to 0 points in the fourth and also scored a defensive touchdown in the fourth. So it was a crazy fourth quarter, and we closed that game out crazy, man. So shout out to you from the trenches. Appreciate you pulling up on us as well. Port City, what's good with you, man? Appreciate you pulling up. Yo, what's good with it, man? Honest, is Jacobs him? Jacobs is him. Jacobs is him, Honest. Most definitely. The nation's in the building. Yo. Appreciate you pulling up, man. And if y'all can, look, we just started. We only 5 minutes in here. If y'all can, let's hit that like button. Let's see if we can get up to 80 likes, because we got 80 people up in here, man. So you know what it is. Jacobs is a monster. Jacobs is him, most definitely. Charm City, salute. Appreciate you pulling up, man. Appreciate you being here with us. John Q out here as well. Shout out to the best O-line in the league, man. Yo, the O-line has been a major surprise. And one thing I want to add to that is this is the first time we've used the same starting 5 offensive linemen in consecutive games. So meaning the last game when we played the Chiefs, that was the same offensive line that started today, and this is the first time we were able to do that. So maybe because of that, we've seen less penalties. And, of course, we had a bye week to where we continue working on that, and they were probably out there working on it with these 5. Go into next week and continue to see that momentum and continue to see that get that continuity across the offensive line, because I love the fact that we didn't see those false starts today from this O-line. Shout out to John Q, man. Arkham Raider in the building. What's happening, man? Appreciate you pulling up, Arkham. Paul Byrne with us today. He says, imagine where the team would be had they used him correctly the first 3 games. And exactly, we have to build this offense based off of the run game, apparently, because it's a major surprise that, like our brother said earlier, that it was based off the run game. One, because the Texans' defensive run game is basically they're better of the 2, I believe. Or am I mistaken? Or was it the pass game? And the fact that Josh Jacobs was out there to go out there and repeat what he did last week, basically, and go out there and do it again today, it just shows that he's consistent in his game. And I love the fact that we could feed off of Josh Jacobs' energy and his carries. JJ carried us. Yeah, exactly. He opened everything up for everybody else. And it's crazy because what did we think would happen is that we get all these skilled players, right? We get all these skilled position players in Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller, even Matt Collins, right? And we think, oh, well, since we have Waller, it's going to open things up for Devontae Adams. And since we have Renfrow, it'll open things up for Waller. And they're going to open things up for each other. But really, it's based off Josh Jacobs. And this is what we're realizing. This is what we've been missing, is the fact that Josh McDaniels needs to favor that run game. And we're seeing it. We're seeing it come to fruition, man. What's popping with Brian Chavez? Appreciate you pulling up, brother. Brian Chavez out here with us today, man. Brian, he says Josh Jacob for MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Mad Max Crosby. Crosby's a beast, but one thing I would like to say is that we need to help Max Crosby, right? We need to help Max Crosby a lot more. The fact that Cleveland Pharaoh and Chandler Jones get Chandler Jones gets his first, it's hard to say, gets his half of a sack today, right? He finally tallies half a sack to his stat sheet for Chandler Jones. But we need to help Max Crosby on the defensive side of the ball, man, because if we're able to get a D tackle for Crosby, I think it'll even open things up a lot more for him. You think about guys like T.J. Watt. T.J. Watt's a good outside linebacker, whatever, they're edge defenders, right? But T.J. Watt, he has good interior defensive linemen, right? So that helps him get to the quarterback. That helps him be able to make plays. Crosby doesn't really have that. We have more guys that could play against the run, and considering that the run game we were able to defend, John Hankins, man, John Hankins is showing up too. Shout out to John Hankins. Seriously, though, Jacobs' best running back in the league. Yeah, right now, Josh Jacobs is looking like one of the better running backs in the league. He definitely is. He's looking like a top 3 at this point. That's crazy. Uncle, that's crazy. Once I click on a comment and I say that, Saquon, Chubb, and Jacobs top 3, yeah, currently right now, that's potentially what it's looking like. Time to roll up the great backwoods. You know what I mean? I'm going to be silent for right now. But, yo, they don't even sell flavored tobacco in Sacramento County anymore. They stripped Sacramento County of all flavored tobaccos, man. SVT pulling up on us. What's good, brother? He says, I'm glad that McDaniels didn't abandon the run when the pass was working. Yes, most definitely. That's something we've been wanting to see. And I think it's just because we have to stay balanced. And he's finally realized that. And that's a great point, SVT. Keeping this balanced game is going to basically it opens things up for everybody, because then it just makes the defense keep guessing. What are they going to do? They're going to run, they're going to pass. And because we can pass efficiently off of the run, it's getting me excited. I ain't gonna lie. It's getting me excited because this is what the hell we've been waiting for, y'all. Like, we've been waiting for a win to where we actually go out there and we win by more than 2-3 points, right? We win by more than 5 points. We have a double-digit lead. We hold on to the lead. The defense, I know people were upset with the defense, and at first it looked like, okay, the defense is gonna continue doing what it does. But you see at the fourth quarter, they make a stop. After the offense scores a touchdown, the defense makes a stop. The offense gets the ball. They go out there, put some more points on the board. They go out. The defense goes back out, stops the Texans again with an interception, taken back to the house, and then they get the ball again, and they stop them again. So I know the defense gave up 20 points in this game, but I got to ask you guys, if the defense in every single game gave up 20 points, but also got a defensive touchdown, I think we would suffice with that. And I know a lot of people were upset with the defense in this game, and it looked like a tough one for them. But at the end of the day, 20 points and a defensive touchdown, I'll take that. I will take that, man, because he stuck to the run. Most definitely. I think it was just being sarcastic. I think he was being facetious. Yeah, most definitely. Yo, Ray was good with it. KJ Hendricks in the building, man. Tony Collins was good with it. Abram Merrick, worst safety combo. Oh, man. You know, yeah. Merrick got to step it up, man. Merrick definitely got to step it up. He said Merrick fell off. Bro, I don't know what it is with Merrick, but I really hope he comes back. I really hope he comes back and bounces back and he figures it out. Since he was just saying that we should look to trade for the safety from Cincinnati and Jesse Bates. You talking about Jesse? That would be a killer move. I'm not going to lie. That would be a crazy move to go out there and get Jesse Bates, y'all. But look, we're about 10 minutes deep now. Over 100 people in the chat. We need 100 likes, y'all. Make sure to make a play. Hit that like button. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Shout out to Knock Andrew. What's good with it? Knock Andrew pulling back up on us. I feel like it's been a minute since you pulled up, brother. Glad to see you out here. SVT, he's 20-0 in the fourth. And this is what I'm saying. That's how you close a damn game. That's how you close a game. And this is what we haven't been seeing in the previous games because, yes, the defense gave up 20 early, but the damn offense scored 20 in the fourth quarter. And then they stopped the Texans from doing anything at all and get that defensive touchdown. So this is like everything I've kind of criticized, I feel like we've seen in this game, right? Everything I feel like I've criticized we've seen in this game. The offense continued to score considerably every single time they got the ball, whether it's a touchdown or a field goal early, and then in the fourth, touchdown. Outside of the pick six, the defense gets an F grade. Well, this is the thing, man. I understand what you're saying, and the defense is not good, guys. Like, let's set the basis and set the damn disclaimer. The defense is not good. Like, it's just not good. We don't have good players on defense. We think we could get guys in free agency and do a patch job on the defense, and it's like you can't do that. What good defenses do that? None. They do not do that. They trade for good players or they draft players that end up being good. That's how you have a good defense, guys. And we have to set like the disclaimer of the defense isn't good. We shouldn't expect them to hold teams to 16 points or less? We shouldn't expect that from this defense. What you should expect from this defense is getting 24 points or less. That's what I would say. 24 points or less. That's the defense. And I know it's a low standard, but we haven't invested anything. We've invested a low standard into the defense. So I agree with you. Outside of that pick six, the defense, I would say, gets a C. I would say a C. Because although they gave up 20 points, they gave up 0 in the fourth. When it was a tied game, They gave up 0. The offense was able to go out there. Excuse me. Well, it was 10-10, but I'm talking about in the fourth. We were able to stop them. Not only did we were able to stop them, we were able to get a defensive touchdown. And if you were to tell me every game we could stop a team at 20 points and get a defensive touchdown, like I said, I would take that. Because if that was the case, we would have won every single game this year. Basically, we would have won every single game this year. So I understand the defense is garbage, and that's just how it is, man. We have to live with this now. We have to live with this. If they're able to do what they did in the fourth today and help close, this is kind of what we would want, though. Even though the defense is good, we would want them to close, man. That's all we could really ask for them. Deron Harmon, our best DB, I think so, with Hobbs out right now. I agree. I think he is our best defensive back at this point. He just has a magnet for the ball. We've heard about it in the offseason when in training camp. They were saying he got a magnet for the ball. He has a knack to get a turnover. So he's going to be our best safety at this point. Hobbs, obviously, like you said, is our best DB. But Anthony Averett, guys, what the hell is going on with Anthony Averett? I think him being on IR really, like, he took a step back. So it's a tough one. That's a tough one. Anthony Averett was getting torched today. Omar with the super, appreciate it, brother. He says people are still saying to trade Carr, which is crazy. Yeah, that's absurd. That's absurd. I don't think our offensive woes can really be blamed on Carr, you know? And I know some people say, well, we haven't had offensive woes. It's hard to say that, you know, especially when the ball's in the offensive hands at the end of the game and some of these games, and you know, we've turned it over or we fumbled it or wide receivers run into each other. And Carr kind of doesn't have anything to do with that, right? I don't think Carr has done anything even this year outside of that first Chargers game where he threw a bunch of picks. Outside of that, he's been pretty solid. So I can't really complain about Carr. I don't know why people be like that, man. He'll always get some type of blame, though. What's good, Ray? Good W today. Hopefully we can build on this moving forward, most definitely. And I think we will, man. This is where we continue. This is where I think we go on a streak. And I think we go on a streak. We're able to do it last year on a 6-game winning streak. It just gives me that confidence thinking with a lot of the same players and having the same quarterback with his mindset, we should be able to do that. And the way the offense looked and the way the defense is able to close – or not, I want to say close, but the way the defense is able to hold teams at the end of games, I think we should be able to move forward. And I'm looking for at least like a 3-game win streak, maybe drop one, go back on a couple-game win streak, because that's how I think it may work. But we have momentum. We definitely have momentum. We have the Saints going to New Orleans, so we'll see what happens, man. Don Phillips, Merrigan, Abrams are brutal. Should never see the field again. Yeah, man, we're stuck with him, man. And if people want to trade Abrams, or not people, but we heard rumors about Abrams being traded, and he's not a coverage guy. And I don't know, man. He looked like he was getting crossed up today, like he was on the court getting his ankles broken. So I don't know. Raider Room says, "What's the status, Ray? Shot at like." But the game over, so Pops got to get back to wifey and my 2 little girls for a bit before bed. But I'm going to hop back on and catch this whole video tonight. Appreciate you, Reddit Real Man. Yeah, take care of the fam, bro. You could always just double back, check it out after. Appreciate you always pulling up and showing support, though, brother. Always appreciate it. And shout out to the family. Alyssa says, what up, Raid? How about them Raiders? How about them Raiders? You know what I mean? Raider Nation for life. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to Alyssa for pulling up on us. Honest says, Ray, do you think we could go on a – yeah, definitely. Yeah, I just got done saying I definitely think we could go on a run. 3-game winning streak would definitely be something I'm looking at. That could definitely waver. 3-game winning streak could be probably 4, but at the same time, I wouldn't expect to just be like, oh, we're going to go on an 8-game winning streak or we're going to win the next 8 games. I don't know if it would be like that. It's still tough to win football games, and with this defense still has to show us stuff, guys. This defense still has to show us a little bit more to really go on runs like that. But if they're able to close games like they did today, I believe this defense was able to close. If you're able to stop a team in the fourth quarter from scoring any points and you get a defensive touchdown or you just get a turnover in general, I think that's going to help in the long run, especially if this offense is what is our backbone. The offense is our backbone. The offense is our leader right now. Omar says, bro, the chokers have been getting lucky. They should have lost to the Donkeys, but if we handle our biz, we should be back. Herbert overrated. Herbert overrated. And look, man, I was getting slaughtered in the quarterback debates talking about, look, Herbert is a good quarterback. He has everything you would want, but he's missing that it factor. And I've been trying to tell people, but did the Chargers lose, y'all? Let me know, man. I didn't even check. Did the Chargers end up losing? So the Broncos lost. Yeah, the Broncos and the Chargers lost. Thank you. There we go. That's what we needed, baby. So the Chargers go down to 4-3. And the Broncos, I ain't even worried about the damn Broncos. But the Broncos and Chargers lost. Only thing is the Chiefs did win. The Chiefs beat. And this is another thing. The Chiefs put up 44 points against the Niners defense. I think everybody would agree that the Niners defense is better than the Raiders defense. But somehow we're able to hold them to only 30 and still be in it. Only 1 point down. Tells you a lot. Definitely tells you a lot about this football team. Vin City says, where was Waller? I didn't see him once. Yo, so he was out. But one thing I want to say is, what did I say in the pregame, Van City? What did I say in the pregame? When I was talking about last year, when I said, I don't mind. Last year, I wanted to trade Darren Waller, blah, blah, blah. What did I say? Do we not play better without Darren Waller? I just feel this way. I feel like we play better without Waller. I don't know what it is. We put up the most points today, and Waller wasn't there. The most points the offense has put up all year, or the team in general, Waller wasn't there. You think about last year when Waller went out. We went on a 6-game winning streak, and Waller wasn't there. He was hurt the whole time. And last year, the most points we scored all season, Waller went out the game. So, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because we try to target him in certain things too much, or we try to work the offense around him and his skill set more. But I just noticed that, man. I just noticed we win, and Waller's not there. And it's weird. And our offense, put up the most points without him. So, I don't know. This is the second year in a row that we've done this when he's gone out. So maybe it's something there. I don't know. Turi for 30 says, look, we don't have the talent on defense to blank teams. But any game we hold a team to 20, we should win. Our offense should be getting 28 to 35 a game. This is exactly the logic and idea I have. This is exactly what you're putting in a comment right here, bro. You're pretty much summing up how I feel about this. The defense needs to be able to hold teams to 20. And if they do, I expect this, really, I say 20 to 24. I expect this offense to be able to put up at least 28 points every single game. That's just for me. If the defense goes out there and holds any team to 24 points or less, I expect us to win every single one of those games. That's just my expectation. Because I don't have high expectations for the defense. I have high expectations for the offense. That's just me, though. Mark Davis Barber says, this team ain't good. I hear you, man. Look, we still, like I said, we still need to prove it, man. We still need to prove it. SVT, rockin' steady, I see you, brother. He says, good to see some trick plays, although one didn't work. Go to show they aren't so uptight. And yeah, but I don't know about the trick plays, man. I think just giving it to Josh Jacobs would be a little bit more safe, and I'd be fine. Hell no, you can't give the defense an F grade. I saw a Graham put Max in coverage. Are you kidding me? Yo, yeah, man. Some people may give them an F still, man. So honestly, it's hard for me to tell. It's hard for me to tell sometimes, especially when I hop off of Twitter and people saying all sorts of crazy stuff. Our defense makes timely stops. Else do you want from a patchwork defense? This is facts. This is facts. They make timely stops every single game. Every game. I'm telling you guys, every game. Every single game, bro. They did it last week against KC. They did it against Arizona. They did it against Tennessee. They do it all the time, man. They did it against the Chargers as well. They aren't that good, but they make timely stops. That's a good way to put it. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate that. Super chat. Appreciate it, man. Always supporting the channel. Our guy JD in the building. He says, can we check on our tight end stats for the games we've played? Seems like this year they're not a part of the game plan. Look, man, we can definitely check that out. We could always check out the stats, man. I'll always be willing to check out the stats. But one thing I would say is I wouldn't be too concerned with that because, one, if you're running the ball very efficiently, then a lot of guys probably won't be getting that work, right? A lot of guys won't be getting that work because when you think about it, let's go ahead and look at the box score and look at the receptions. Hunter Renfrow, 3 for 55, and Devontae Adams, 8 for 95. And you talk about Josh Jacobs getting 20 carries for 143 yards, geez Louise, and 3 touchdowns. Can't even talk right now. There's not a lot of space for other receivers, right? Because Matt Collins got 2 for 44. Foster Moreau got 3 for 28. So I wouldn't be too concerned with it, JD. I definitely hear you, though. But at the same time, I feel like we do well when our superstar tight end is out. I feel like we still do well. So appreciate the super chat, brother. Just win, baby. Shout out to Carlos, man. You already know what it is, man. Just win, baby. Yo, if y'all can, make sure to hit that like button. I see some more people pulling up on us. We're about 180 deep, man. Let's see if we can get over 150 likes. Let's get it, man. Oh, my goodness, Lurker. DJ's punt drop was scary. Yes, I completely forgot about that. That was ridiculous. And it was because the fact that he was just free to run, right? He had a lot of space in front of him. And nobody was around him. And it was like, bruh, that had me shook a little bit. That should have me shook a little bit. But I'm glad he was able to get it back. Merrick was looking suspect too. Yeah, we talked about that. We talked about it in the pregame show. For those who don't know, I also do a pregame show so like about an hour and a half before every game. I'll hop on, talk about the game. And we talked about Merrick. We talked about we want to see more from Merrick. Everybody in the chat, we all talked about it. We said, look, we want to see more from Merrick. We want to see him prove in his second year he could do something. We've seen Gerald Everett in the Kelsey coverage, and it didn't look great. Today didn't look great as well. So I think I don't know what it is with Merrick. I honestly don't know what it is. It's tough. Been living with it for 39 years. I'm getting older, right? Hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I definitely feel you. Raheem Mostert with the touchdown is on my fantasy team. Thankfully, I'm able to get some points there, man. Avery looking like Damon. Oh my gosh, bro. You cold as hell, Chris Gang. Chris Gang a damn fool, bro. Shout out to Chris Gang. It's been a minute. Where you been, bro? And why don't you got a profile picture anymore? What happened? Let me get down into the chat, though. I'm falling a little bit behind. It looked like Brian Chavez, we need to relax with them trick plays, though. I swear, we was just saying that, bro. I agree with you 100%, man. 100%, bro. GA Patriot says, Raiders, just win, baby. Waller only produces for Gruden. That's crazy because I've been hearing this thing going around, and it seems like that's what it is. Because last year, once Gruden left, Waller wasn't really a factor. You know what I mean? And bad business on our part as far as this new regime for giving him that contract. I definitely felt like we should have waited and have him prove this year that he was feeling better because last year he had a lot of lingering injuries. And I just felt like this year he should have came in about the middle of the season. We could have gave him that contract extension if he was healthy and he looked good. But I guess we wanted to give it to him early before the season. So it is what it is. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, my brother Chargers got smoked. Herbert looked like Nathan Peterman out there. Yo, I didn't even watch the game, obviously, because I was watching the Raiders game. But Herbert, man, he don't have that it factor. He has all the tangibles you would like in a quarterback. He has a big arm. He's tall. He's fast. He's mobile. He's strong. But at the same time, he doesn't have the it factor. He just doesn't have it. He's like a little kid, man. You can't be a little kid as a quarterback. You got to grow up and you got to be your own man. And it's like he's always trying to look to his coach like, you know what I mean? Like just think about that meme or not even a meme where he was just on the sideline like, I didn't want to tie so bad. And it was just like, bro, you gotta grow out of that shell. You gotta get out of that shell, especially since you're at the quarterback spot. Come on, man. You're in LA too. Like you're the quarterback for an LA team. They forcing that Super Bowl over there, and they still struggling. That's sad. Johnny Rose, man, appreciate you, brother. He says our offensive line is blowing open holes, and Josh looks so much quicker this year, and he does. And look, it's probably because of the nutrition. Now, you just heard him after the game talking about how his nutrition is different. He trained in Florida this offseason, and he's looking a little bit quicker. And when he did get an open space last week, or these last couple of weeks that he was able to kind of get an open space, you've seen him try to like get up there and run. He's not the fastest, but he definitely is quick. He definitely is quick, man. But the offensive line, can we give some credit to the offensive line and just some kudos, the fact that they're able to go out there and Josh McDaniels, we've given Josh McDaniels some heat, but he found the starting five, it seems like, right? We didn't get a bunch of penalties from Jermaine Illuminor. We didn't get a bunch of penalties like we did last week off of this offensive line when Mumford would come in. So, and Mumford would come in as a sixth offensive lineman sometimes. So not getting those false starts definitely helped. Definitely helped, man. Shout out to the offensive line for real. Jeff Garrison in the building, my guy. He says, Waller has cost us a couple of games with drop touchdowns. I like Waller, but damn, he's not producing like the highest paid tight end in the NFL. Bro, he's not producing anything being on the sideline right now. And you're 100% right. He has dropped a couple of touchdowns this year. His drops have been crucial. And it has kind of bit us in the ass, but at the same time, if we're able to turn things around and continue to look good with him on the sideline, then maybe it may convince the regime to where, okay, maybe we can move on or do something. But we'll see what happens, man. 805 says we don't need Waller. We can win without him. And we proved this last year, guys. Like, I swear we proved this last year. We went on that winning streak last year to make the playoffs, and he didn't come back to the last game of the season. So it you know what I mean? The writing's on the damn wall. It is just crazy to me that this regime just came in and just gave him the money regardless of his injuries last year, regardless of him missing all those games, and regardless that we ended up winning games without him. So, bad business on our part, but let's see what happens, man. Let's see what happens. Reezy Rock says Waller drops that TD. Matt caught. Moral all around is a better tight end, even route running. I don't really know about if he's a better route runner, man. I don't know if he's a better tight end either. I'll be honest. I know we want to go that route, but let's not knock Waller too much, right? Waller's still very, very he's still a genetic freak, bro. Like, you don't meet a lot of people that can move like Waller at his size. That's why he's one of the most elite in the game, and why no matter what, when he's healthy, he'll still be one of those better tight ends because he just has things that you can't teach, right? That's what made Waller good. And this is why it's kind of a tricky situation because he gets injured. He can't really play through the injury because what makes him good is his genetics. Now, on the other hand, other guys can play through injuries like a George Kittle, for instance, because he kind of blocks a lot better. Actually, let me say that again. He blocks a lot better. So George Kittle could play through an injury. He's not basing his game off of speed or anything. He's basing it off of breaking tackles, making good blocks. So the difference there is huge, definitely huge. Jeff Garrison, he says, I would give the defense a B+. Damn, Jeff, you generous as hell. Let me tell you something. You generous as hell. You are a very nice person, Jeff, because a B+, that's very generous. I thought I was being generous by even saying a C. He says that's as much as we can ask for. And look, this is remote to what I was saying earlier, is the fact that if we're able to stop teams at 20 points and get an interception or a defensive touchdown, I'm happy with that. If that's what the defense can do in all of our games, I would be happy with that because I would expect our offense to score more than 20 points for sure, but 24 plus, which we pretty much have, man. BSRR34 says, did you hear the commentator say DC isn't checking plays at the line as often? What's your thoughts on that? It could be directed a lot towards the fact that we are calling run plays and we're not checking out of the run plays. That's probably what it is. That's the only thing I could think of off the top of my head because you hit me from the blind side with this question. I ain't going to cap. But I would say that's what it is because you call in a run play and we're just winning at the line of scrimmage. We're winning at the line of scrimmage, so we're able to have these run plays. Plus, Jacobs, I can't take anything away from him. He's able to see the hole. He's able to be patient and hit the hole. So you don't really need to check out of a play or anything. If anything, we just hear a car saying, Foster Moreau, get on the line. You heard him yell at Foster, get on the line. So I think that's probably what it is, most likely what it is, I would say. Jesus Martinez was good with it, man. Appreciate you pulling up. Everybody that's just pulling up, man, if it's your first time here, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you guys. If you can, hit that like button. Let's see if we can get close to 200 likes, y'all. My guy Pharaoh, let me send my guy Pharaoh the link real quick. We're going to have Pharaoh pull up on us, man. because we need somebody level-headed, somebody that is definitely level-headed, because I haven't been level-headed lately, y'all. I have not been level-headed. Let me be honest with you guys, man. But let me see if I got a link real quick. Where the hell is this man Pharaoh at? Where's this man Pharaoh at? Here he is right here. Let me send my guy Pharaoh the link real quick and we'll get back to it. Man, this dude a troll, bro. This dude a weirdo. I don't know what this dude talking about. This dude trying to gain publicity off of me, I think. Dude keep tagging me in his Instagram and posting about me. Like, bro, you a clown. You're a weirdo, bro. Like, what are you doing? Quit tagging me, bro. Like, who does that? Brian Chavez. This game only proved my point. The defense going to give up what they give up, but our offense is loaded enough to outscore what our defense gives up. This is definitely true, but I would say the defense has to be at least somewhat moderate, right? They have to be at least somewhat moderate. 20 to 25 points is like the most we could be giving up. I agree with a lot of people that say you can't score 30 points every game, and you can't. You really can't. But I expect this offense to score more than 24 points a game. So we have to be moderate with that, but I definitely understand and agree with your point, Brian Chavez. I definitely understand. LB was good with it, brother. He says, Ray, just got home from the game. The nation was in force today. Shout out to you, LV Maximus, bro. I'm glad you were able to hit the game. I hope you've seen all of our Raider brothers out there, man. I'm glad you were able to hit that thing. Hell of a game, bro. Hell of a game. I know you're excited. I know you're juiced up right now. SVT, Raid, Hollins snatched that thing out the air in double coverage. He definitely proven himself. Hollins is a long-term guy, it seems like. Like, he's deserving some long-term stuff right now because he's doing everything I feel like we should expect Waller to do, right? Shout out to Avery Jones. He says, I'm not going to lie. They had us in the – Hey, you caught me off guard with that one. You caught me off guard on that one. I ain't going to lie. You got me. Hey, I'm not going to lie. They had us in the first half. Yeah, that's the first time anybody ever got me with that one, man. The hell? I should have caught that shit. Shout out to you, Avery Jones, for dropping a super. Appreciate you supporting the channel, brother. Jeff Garrison says Morrow still needs to improve in blocking, both run and pass, but still a better all-around tight end than Wallpaper. Oh man, y'all going too hard on Waller, man. I know I criticize him, but damn, man, y'all can't be doing Wallpaper like that. I mean, damn, you got me saying it now. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Let's give Waller a little bit slack because look, he got the bag and it's on the regime. It's on the new regime. They're the one that gave him the bag with 2 years left on the contract. So, you know what I mean? He finessed his way to a little bit more paper. LV Maximus, did everyone hold their breath when Carr went down? You know, when Carr went down, I didn't really trip too much because I felt like, you know what I mean? If it was really bad, I feel like Carr would express it a lot more. We would know if it's really bad. But Carr's a pretty tough guy, so I wasn't really too concerned. But it's always a scare. It's always a scare when Carr goes down, bro. Always is. Ray Love says, run them likes up. Go make a play. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that like button. And subscribe if you guys are new here. Appreciate y'all being here today with us, man. Johnny Rose says, just like that, we are number 11 in the conference for a playoff spot. We are going on a run. We're definitely going on a run. I agree, Johnny Rose. I think a three-game run is going to look like in our favor. I would like to see at least let me put it that way. I would like to see at least a 3-game run, bro. At least. We have to. Because then it'll put us at that 5-4, or it would put us at that 500 spot. 3-game run, 500 spot. We'll be 4-4. It's like a clean slate halfway through the season. Let's start off like that. I would love to see it. Docs does that. Tag your hit. Hey, I feel it, man. I feel it. People be out here, man. But no, it's not Docs. I don't know. I don't know who the person is that's being a troll, bro. That keeps tagging me. Agree with the no more than 24, 25. Most definitely, brother. Most definitely. See my guy Element Pro in the building. Let me see. Where the heck did that comment go? I just see my guy Element Pro in the building. I just seen a comment from Dragon Hendricks in the building. What's good with it, brother? Out here with us. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What else? Sacktown play. Yes, sir. You know what it is, man. We out here in Northern Cali holding it down. CT says, nah, Ray, it's not Waller. It's because we don't run enough. Last year, we went on a streak because we ran the ball. You could say that, CT. You could definitely say that. You could definitely say that. With the play action game, you know, Waller would definitely help. Would definitely help. But it's just hard to say because it's shown. I feel like it's already shown. Last year it showed. It's showing again today. We'll see what happens moving forward. Maybe this win motivates Waller to kind of play through it, but a hamstring injury is tough. It's hard to play through a hamstring injury. I don't know if I'd want a player to have that linger for a long time. So we'll see what happens. As bad as the other team been this season, Raiders could sneak into the playoff as the 6th, 7th seed. The Raiders need to clean up their act for reals. That's why we have to go on the streak. We just have to. He said trash Arnett ASAP. Bro, we have another we have another another Arnett out there, man. Pharaoh, pull up to the live, Rod will. Yes, sir. SVT, I hear you, bro. Matter of fact, let me see. I'm gonna send it to my boy SVT here shortly. I'll send it to my boy SVT here shortly. Let me see. Where the hell that man at? Sometimes it'd be hard to find. If I go on my rated tape, it'd be hard to find it sometimes because it'd just be a bunch of there'd be a lot of messages in here. Boom. See if that works. Let's see if that works. This dude keep tagging me right here. What is you tagging me for, bro? What is this man tagging me? What is you tagging me? Post, ticket champ, not confident enough to wager bread, nonsense, head ass opinion. I love it. Pick a random number between $1 and $2,000. I'll place it on the Raiders to make the playoffs tonight. This dude a weirdo, bro. This dude doesn't know that I predicted that my prediction is the Raiders will make the playoffs. This dude trying to bet me that the Raiders will make the playoffs. And it's like I expect the Raiders to make the playoffs. So why would I bet you? Like, bro, what are you talking about, fam? This dude about to piss me off, but I can't let him get to me. So I'm just gonna ignore him because he's being weird. LOSVT, I'm about to come through. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Where's the link for the merch? Yo, shout out to Twave50, man. T-Wave50. Yo, the merch, you know what it is. RedemptionBrand.com. That's all you got to do. Redemption, BRND. There's no A in brand, but it's RedemptionBrand.com. I can put it down. Let me see. I can put it down, and I can put the link is down in the description, brother. If you go down in the description, the link is definitely there, and you can check it out on YouTube. I think it should be right under the video. We should have the merch right there. Element Pro, what's up with it, brother? Appreciate you pulling up. What up, Ray? We got a W. I'm good. I'm good for the week. Yo, I think we're all good for the week. I think we're all definitely good for the week. But Element Pro, let me know your opinion on the defense. Matter of fact, this is what I want to do, guys. This is what I want to do. I want you guys to put down right now in the chat, what's your guys' grade on the defense? What do you guys grade the defense in this game, all right? Hit the like button for the young GOAT. Appreciate you, SVT. Appreciate you, man. Yes, sir. Shout out to Prez, brother. And yes, sir. He put the link in the chat. Appreciate you, dog. Appreciate you for real. Ray making enemies on Twitter and IG. Yeah, this dude a weirdo, man. This dude a weirdo. I don't know. He keep tagging me in, and I think he's trying to I don't know, like get a sponsor. He keeps talking about a sponsor. I'm like, bro, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Like, I don't do none of that. Yeah, it's been a minute for Pharaoh. Most definitely, most definitely. Let's get them grades down up in here, man. Let's see what we can average out. Okay, we get a B minus, a C plus, a B. Okay, I see a lot of C's. A D plus from Ray Love. A D plus from Ray Love. Jackie Chun says C minus D plus. And Jackie Chun, bro, I definitely got to rock with Jackie Chun on this one because I definitely feel like we're a C minus. We're right there, C minus. It just looked kind of garbage because we kept allowing them to score on most of the drives. Whether it was we let them get a field goal, then we let them get a touchdown, then we let them get a field goal, then we let them get a touch. So, it's kind of whack that we continue to see that. But at the same time, when you think about it, they only scored on 4 possessions, right? They only scored on 4 possessions. And how many possessions did they actually have total? How many possessions did the Texans even have total? Missed field goal, touchdown, field goal. The end of the half, field goal, touchdown, punt, interception, and then downs. So the defense the defense. It was people were upset, but I mean the defense didn't too bad, not too bad. Tony Collins says the D, okay, B from Digital Press. So yeah, I think a C. I think a C would suffice definitely. I missed the game. I was at work. I'm gonna watch it as soon as I jump off, y'all. Most definitely, Emily Pro. Most definitely appreciate you for staying with us, man. Appreciate you staying with us. C plus on the defense from 805. I think a C plus to a C minus. So a C pretty much is cool, man. I think a D is a little harsh. How many forced punts? Let me go ahead and pull it up for you guys real quick. So we can go ahead and take a look at this play-by-play. You guys know, those that follow me, you guys know I love to bring the play-by-play up. This tells the whole story of the entire game pretty much, all right? The play-by-play. So let's go ahead and take a look. We open up the gate, right, with the football, kick a field goal. The Texans get into field goal range, but end up missing a short one. I believe it was around 34-yard field goal. On the next possession, our defense gave up a touchdown, 13 plays on 62 yards. It was a good drive by the Texans. I'll be honest. It was a good drive. They had to make some tough throws, some good catches. They got a touchdown. Their next drive, they got a field goal. So far, out of 3 possessions, they got 1 field goal, 1 touchdown, and they missed a field goal. We got that sack at the end of the half. So far, they've scored. If you go down the next 2 drives, they get a field goal, a touchdown. So that's 4 scoring drives out of 6. Technically out of 6. Let's say 5 because the end of the half, they only had a couple seconds. So they scored 4 out of the 5. But that is where things changed because in the fourth quarter, right here, literally at the beginning of the fourth quarter, 13:32 is when we give the ball back and the Texans first get the ball in the fourth quarter. They punt the football on the first drive in the fourth quarter. On the next drive, and think about this, guys. We have the lead. We score a touchdown, we get the lead, 24-20. So now it's on the defense, right? This is where I felt Raider fans got that feeling of cringe, right? Because they have a 2017 lead. We finally get the lead. Here, and it's the fourth quarter, and we've been going back and forth with them. So this is where we get cringy. But 3 plays for 5 yards. We get a 3 and out. 24-20, we're up. The offense goes and scores another touchdown. This is complimentary football to me because we stop them. The offense scores a touchdown. The defense scores a touchdown. And that's overachieving at that point, in my opinion. So, very complimentary football. I love the fact that we went out there and competed and we got that done, man. I definitely give the defense a C. Albert says, they got critical stops. They got a score, but we're gashed in the running game, and the secondary was burnt all day. C minus. I agree. Anything with the C, I definitely feel like is agreeable. The secondary is looking like garbage. I feel like we need to go put maybe like, I don't know, man. I want to see more of Sam Webb. Like, what would it hurt to put Sam Webb in for Anthony Averett at this point? I don't know. I don't know how much it would hurt. Well, how much difference would it have made today? Jacob's definitely looking like the best back in the league right now. Johnny Rose says, shout out to our elite kicker, Daniel Carlson. Yes, sir. Daniel Carlson, definitely elite. Definitely elite. He's top 3 in kicking right now. Abrams cover. That boy is stupid, man. Yo, this man T-Wave hilarious. I ain't going to cap on you, man. That man said Abrams cover skills are asparagus. That boy different. You a vegan. That boy crazy. Shout out to our guy Pharaoh, though, man. Pulling up in the first pro club, man. What's good?
I knew you was gonna say something. Man. Salute to you, man. I appreciate you having me on, man. We had a fire show last night on my channel, man. If anybody wasn't there to check it out, go ahead and check my channel. But man, we got a lot to talk about, man, especially after a win, man. Salute to the chat, salute to the nation.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? I'm excited to talk about.
Appreciate you having me on yesterday too, man.
Me and Ray was talking about it. Raider Ray, if y'all don't know, the co-host that we do a weekly show with every week. We had a great conversation. Me and him were talking like, man, we had a good ass conversation. And man, whenever you need us to come through, man, just let us know. We'll make it happen. But yeah, man, back to the game, man. Whew,
What's your
man,
grade on the defense? I just asked everybody in the chat, so I got to know what's your grade on the defense right now. I got to let you know, man.
I'm gonna give them I like someone. I think someone said C minus. I give him a C minus.
Yeah, I agree
And
with
you know,
that.
a C is a passing grade. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, the reason why I give him a C minus because I am kind of concerned about this defense, man, because we played against Mills. You know what I mean? He's not a top echelon QB at the end of the
Yeah,
day. Like, so if we're
yeah.
going against a Patrick Mahomes or if we're going against a top QB, it's gonna be tough. You know what I mean? And we're gonna play some good. I think we're gonna play some good QBs, some solid QBs coming up. Who
Mhm.
I got to check up. I got to check the schedule,
Most
but
definitely. We'll pull the schedule up here in a second, man. But one thing I definitely have to say is the volume cool? Because our guy Jeff Garrison saying is you're a little louder than your mic is louder than mine. I'm not sure. I'm gonna try to figure that out. But
is my mic tripping out?
nah, he's saying you're louder than I am. He said Pro Club at your local liquor store. Make sure y'all sub
Hey,
to Pharaoh
I already know
Man.
y'all was gonna roast, man. Y'all.
Yo, this is a certified hood classic at this point. You just made it a certified hood classic, man. Most definitely, most definitely. Yeah. So with the defense, though, you say a C minus, right? And you bring up Davis Mills. He's not that good of a quarterback. But the thing is, in my opinion, is the Texans aren't a sleeper team. Like they're kind of one of those like nagging teams. That's why I always felt like we couldn't sleep on them. Damon Pierce is solid, bro. Like he's a good running back. Their O line could run block pretty well. And when you look at kind of their schedule and go down the ticker, it's kind of like we gave up 20, yeah, but a lot of the teams they played gave up around that. The Chargers, they gave up 24. They scored 24 on the Chargers, right? So when you kind of look at that, it's different week to week. You think about the 49ers. We would agree that the 49ers defense is better than the Raiders, right?
Right, right.
But the fact that they give up 44, well, I mean, I think they got Casey got a defensive touchdown. But the point is you give up 44. So it's week to week. I think the defense did cool. We got a defensive touchdown ourselves, so I'm happy with that, man.
That's what's up, man. Now it's the thing is that like at the end of the day they made. I told you I said it's Duron Harmon. I said this on the last live that we did last night.
Yeah.
I said is Duron Harmon our best safety?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you were trying to tell me Abram because he was versatile. He was doing a lot on the defense. But at the end of the day, I like safeties that make plays.
Yeah.
And Trayvon no play Morig ain't making no plays. You know what I'm saying? He ain't making no plays.
Yeah.
Abram, you know what I mean? You don't really hear too much about him, you know what I mean? Obviously he's probably solid out there, but
he's doing different stuff. He's not really covering like that.
Bro, he's Harmon and obviously we're 2-4, but he's made big time plays and gave us a chance. He's gave this offense a chance.
Yeah.
You can get on our offense on how we haven't took advantage of it. But in my opinion, I think like, man, the defense, we came out with a W. They did get that interception return. They did make some plays at the end. They kind of, took control of the game at the end. But at the end of the day, I just can't get over the fact that like, bro, how do you let Davis Mills look like that, man?
Yeah,
you know what
I mean, what did Davis Mills really do though? Like
he was shredding us up every time we blitz. He was shredding us up.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, man. It's like you brought up the safeties, right? And what did I say about Merrick last night?
Yep.
What did I say about Merrick last night? Right?
Yeah, you called it. Yeah.
We need to see more from him. And I said myself, I think Merrick was a guy that was going to come in and be able to step up and do the things that we're seeing him supposed to be doing today, right? Last year, I wanted to draft him. So I'm not sitting here saying like, oh, I hate Merrick or anything. No, because I wanted to draft him. Let me put that out there. But he's just not producing. And when we watched the Chargers game, he wasn't producing then. And he didn't produce when we played Kansas City because Kelsey had 4 damn touchdowns. Right. So you watch him in this game, and it's like, bruh, I don't even know what he was doing. I don't know if he was trying to jump a route or something, but it's like he just blown right past him, and he didn't even tackle the guy. He just went up the sideline. I'm like, what was that? Like, what? I don't know what it was.
Right. And before I got on live, I heard you say that you calling for Sam Webb over Averett. That is
Yeah,
that quick? Is
bro,
you
that
done with it?
quick, bro, that quick, that
Damn.
quick. I'm not a
Yeah.
big fan of. One thing is, I said this about Everett when we signed him. I'm not a big fan of small corners. I don't really care for small corners. You know what I mean? 5'11", 190 pounds. Like, bro, you're small. You're my size. If you're my size, or excuse me, not 190 pounds, 185. If you're my size, bro, hell no. Get your ass off the
Yeah.
field. Get your ass.
Yeah.
And that's why he was on
Yeah.
IR. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and I see somebody say, yo, every time I seen Averett's dreads, it gave me flashbacks to Arnett. And it's like, bro, he was playing like Arnett today.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, I hear you. And at the end of the day,
Who said a tall tee? I know your ass ain't wearing no damn tall tee.
no wearing no tall tee.
That man ain't wearing no damn tall tee. That man
Hey,
got basketball team logos on his pants right now. That man got basketball team logos on his pants right now.
Hey, y'all going crazy right now. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Comedic relief, man, after a win. Every Raider fans right now, they feeling good after a W, which is cool, man.
Everybody turning.
Man, we finally got a, low key of a blowout. You know what I'm saying? It was close for most of the game, but we pulled away at the end, and we won by 18. But I still, it kind of, we got the W. That's the important part, but we still got some questions that need answering with the defense. Is this something that's going to be solved this season? Can we be at least a bend but don't break? Because I don't see us being a top-notch defense. I'm saying at the very least, can you be a bend but don't break defense? But you gotta stop people from scoring in the end zone. I think I seen the stat. It was like over 80%. Our defense gives up over 80% defensive touchdowns. You know what I mean? In the red zone, which is crazy, bro. And that's worse than the league.
Yeah, I hear you. I definitely hear you, man. And it's weird because the defense, like the whole game, it gave like a weird eerie feeling like, dang, they suck, right? Like they just giving up. But if you take a step back and you just look at the whole picture, and if you were to say, okay, 20 points, a defensive touchdown, would you take that for most games?
A defensive hell yeah, I'll take a defensive touchdown at the end of the day.
So that's kind of how I sat back and I'm like, okay, they gave up 20 points, which is a lot. But if they held every team to 20 points, not even considering it, don't even consider the defensive touchdown, would you take that 20 points?
No, I would take it. You know what I mean? But the thing is that I definitely would take it. You know what I mean? But we watched the game though. We all watched the game. We seen what happened. That was not the usual blowout. You know what I mean? It was that was a game all the way until the fourth quarter. So
it was a blowout just in the fourth. Just the fourth quarter, because if I'm correct, the stat was 20-0 in the fourth.
Exactly.
We put 20 or 21, I think it was, because we had 17 points. It was 2017, and then we scored 21 points, and then it was 38-20 at the end. I think. What was the score? 38-20 or 37-20?
38-20.
So I think we scored 21-0 in the fourth or something like that. But yeah, it was a blowout in the fourth quarter, man. And it's weird because we've seen a blowout kind of like that already, just in the beginning of the game. It's like today's game was the opposite of like games that we've seen the last couple of weeks. Against the Arizona Cardinals, it's 20-0 in the first. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden it's 29-23. And this
take it though. I'll take it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I definitely. I'm not. This is not really like a criticize. It's more of just like a perspective thing. And it's you get 20-0 lead and then you lose 29-23. Today it's more of we were down, weren't we? 10-3. We were down 10-3, I believe. We scored and it was 10-10 and a half. But then at the end we get that 20-0 lead. You see what I'm saying? So it's like if we could figure out how to close games, the defense can continue to get crucial stops, timely stops, like someone had mentioned earlier in the comments, those timely stops. And this is kind of why I did come to bat for the defense this previous couple of weeks, is because they've done this week after week. Like, let's be honest. Every week they will give up some stuff. They will. But then when the game is on the line, they go out, they stop, give the ball back to the offense. Go out there, they stop them. Get an interception, stop them, right? So the defense isn't that good, but they do make timely stops, man. We have to, we got to give them at least that.
The thing is that if you want to really be honest, because you made a good point, we haven't. What you're trying to say is basically we haven't played a complete game. You know what I mean?
I
From
don't think the
offense.
defense. The thing is, I don't think the defense ever will.
Mm,
And I don't know if Patrick Graham's system sets it up to where maybe he holds on to certain packages or he holds on to certain plays and he wants to dial up at a certain time to where, okay, I need to save this for a certain time, right? I
right.
need to run this a certain time. So then when he gets to that point, then this is where we install it. You know what I mean? Kind of like on the offense side of the ball. This is where we want to take the shot. This is where we want to go out there and send it deep, right? So maybe that's what he does on the defense side of the ball. But at the end of the day, I give them that little bit of credit on the defense. That's it. That when it comes down to the crunch time at the end of the game, they do seem to make those timely stops. And we've seen it today. Again, we've seen it today. 0 points in the fourth quarter. And technically, they got more points. They scored more points than the offense in the fourth quarter, than the opponent's offense in the fourth quarter, right? So that's not bad. That's not bad.
That's not bad. You know, that shows the talent, you know, of the Raiders, you know what I mean, what they're capable of. It's just that we're kind of frustrated because we need to see this in the first quarter. We need to see this in the second quarter. We need to see this in the third quarter. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'll take a W. Just win, baby. I'll take it. I'm not over here complaining. I'm just looking down the road at the end of the day when we play good teams. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, like that's what's going to matter because if you want to be a playoff team, you're going to have to like clean up some of this stuff. And,
yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Let me get to Rick Glenn with the super chat, man. He says, "What are your thoughts on those gimmick plays we ran?" And then when we talked about this earlier in the show, some people have brought it up. I don't really mind it too much, but I feel like we do it too often. Like I don't want to see it every other week. I feel like we should see it maybe once every maybe every 4 weeks. We only see it like when it's a super crucial game, maybe, and we trying to do something different. But I feel like when you do it a lot, then it's not really like a surprise because then teams are going to expect you to do some type of trick play. You know what I mean? So, I don't really find it like that cool, especially if we can run well. Just run the ball. Like, why do a trick play to get like a 10 yards when you can just run the football and be way more safe? Because on some of them, it looked like Carr barely got the ball when Jacobs threw it back to him on that one. Like he almost missed catching the toss and like little things like that. You know, it's
man,
like
I like that too cute when Josh McDaniels trying to get too cute. I don't like it because you kind of like you just mentioned that could have been a turnover.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. If Derek Carr didn't somehow some way catch that ball because you know Josh Jacobs, you know he's having a great season, MVP season for us. You know what I mean. At the end of the day. But it was a kind of like a little bad toss that he gave to Derek Carr, and almost could have been a turnover. And that's what happens when you try to be too cute. Like you literally you're setting yourself for failure because things get a little tight, especially when you're playing a team that's playing hard. I feel like it's crazy. I brought this up to you, you know, last time I spoke to you, and I was trying to throw it out there. Is Patrick Graham's defense too complex? Is it causing the defensive players to play slow rather than fast? But then it's funny because on the opposite end of the field, you're playing against a defense. Well, not the defense, but the Raiders' offense is playing against a defense that their whole scheme, aka shout out to Gus Bradley, is about playing fast, keeping it simple and playing fast. Led by Lovie Smith. And that the whole time when you're watching the game, you're hearing the commentators talk about how like they literally are focusing on their technique and just having the players play fast and reading the QB. And you see the difference, compared to our defense, especially early on. Like we couldn't tackle anybody. We literally it didn't matter what type of blitz that we were sending. We were making Davis Mills look like Peyton Manning out there. But that being said, like I said, I'm gonna keep it positive. We came out with a W at the end of the day, and that's all that matters because we got 5 winnable games. But at the end of the day, the Raiders did dig themselves a hole early on. So even though these games coming up are winnable, it's just like there's no room for error. So the games become tougher. So when I was watching the Texans, even though I knew the Texans is not really a good team, you know what I mean? They're probably gonna get a top 10 pick. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, they play hard, but they're just not as talented.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, just think about it. Who's the receivers? We know they're receivers because we just play them, obviously. Right. Just know from knowing football, but it's like, who really are the receivers? Is there a Hunter Renfrow, Devontae Adams?
You can't name probably more than 2 defensive players, 2 or 3 defensive players on there. You know what I'm saying?
Matter of fact, dang, I really can't name too many
You
defensive
know what I
players,
mean?
but damn,
Because
that's
I
crazy.
remember looking at this team early in the week, just because I had to do a live, and I was like, bro, this is like such a boring live to do because I really don't care about the Texans. And I
Yeah,
don't think
yeah,
any Raider fan cares about the Texans.
exactly.
But we care about the game because the Raiders are playing,
Yeah.
and I'm glad we got the W. But like I said, these games become that much tougher because we have no room for error. So when I was watching the game, even though it was 10-3, I'm like, oh my God, I'm over here. So I know as a fan, I'm like that. Imagine the players.
Yeah.
Imagine the players who are actually they got all the pressure at the end of the day. They
Yeah.
got contracts coming up, contract extensions. You know what I mean? Like if they play well, if they win, they know they get all the
Yeah.
pressure at the end of the day. I don't get the pressure. We don't get the pressure as fans. Like we're just watching the game. But imagine them. So hopefully they can come out and they can string along some wins and get back in this playoff race.
I think what's in our favor, why I don't worry about that too much, is honestly just because Derek Carr. That's it. Like because of Derek Carr being our quarterback and one of our leaders, I don't get too concerned with like us losing or being like having a bad record because I feel like who else would be able to get you through it other than Derek Carr, like as your quarterback. He's already dealt with this. He's used to it. He doesn't really waver. He goes out there, has a good performance. He doesn't start playing any different just because we have a bad record. He doesn't start playing worse and worse and worse, right? He doesn't go in like this downward spiral. So I feel like that kind of helps us keep our head above water in most cases. And we're just lucky. And we've seen it last year. He was able to still, what I mean? We were still able to maneuver.
I think you're giving him too much credit right now. I think he's playing solid. He's playing cool. But to be honest with you, I tweeted this on Twitter. I was like, hey, look, like, where would the Raiders be without Josh Jacobs?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's really what's working on offense is Josh Jacobs, and that O-line is doing a good job, like you mentioned earlier in the show, like run blocking.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really the offense right now. Our
Yeah.
passing game is kind of inconsistent. Sometimes we get hot. Sometimes it's pretty much it's all predicated off Josh Jacobs running the ball, like that play action, the threat of us running the ball, and that's what was working against the Texans, especially in the second half. So I think, in my opinion, I think Josh Jacobs is really like I said, the MVP this season, bro. He had 3 touchdowns. I think I don't know if you've seen I think there was like a clip where or someone was talking about how like he's the first Raider to rush for three 100-yard games in a row, I guess.
Okay, yeah. And I had seen he had caught Marcus Allen with so many yards in the first 50.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
Or
like,
he's
wow.
about to catch him. So, yeah, I agree. I agree that our offense is centered around Josh Jacobs, but being down 1-4, being down in games and being down like that, I don't think your running back like really is the person that's going to be able to get you through that stuff. Like Josh Jacobs last year was hurt a lot, and we were able to get through a lot of woes. So he wasn't really there playing through all of that. You feel me? Like if you think about it, and kind of what I'm talking about is that what you're saying is how would the players feel when you have a guy? Yeah, Josh Jacobs is one of those guys, but he's still in a rookie contract. He's still only been in the league for so many years compared to Carr's been with the Raiders for the last 10 years, basically.
Right.
Been through 3 different regimes, So it's like that feeling of wavering. Other guys would definitely like flash out or something. I mean, we seen Devontae Adams last year get so frustrated that, stuff happened.
Right.
You know what I mean? He should be the one that's level-headed. He should be more level-headed than most of the people in the damn locker room.
Right.
But he's already showing things outside of character. We've never seen that from Derek Carr. And that's one thing I just have to make sure to give him that credit that no matter what, he hasn't wavered off of that. And he doesn't go in this downward spiral. And I think because of him, we've been able to keep that flow. You know what I mean? So that's just kind of how I try to give him some kind of that credit of the
he's a good leader.
Intellectual, emotional intelligence of the side of it. Me, I'm not that emotional intelligent. If that was me out there, you'd be seeing me on the sidelines going nuts. You know what I mean? So
right.
You know what I mean? I just give him that credit. That's it. Not so much about, I wasn't talking about so much of carrying the team as far as on the field, but as far as like in the locker room, being that level-headed person. That's kind of what I was talking about.
I get you. I think Derek Carr is definitely a good leader, but I always think the best leaders lead by example. And right now, Josh Jacobs is leading by example. Right now, he is carrying this team, this offense. He's the reason why we're winning. Shout out to Adams too. He had a nice little bounce back game too as well. Like he played well. But no, I get what you're saying. Yeah, Derek Carr is always positive. You know what I mean? He's always positive. I don't think I've ever heard a teammate say anything bad about him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like I get where you're coming from. It's just I
Yeah.
definitely want to see more because the passing game is kind of not.
Yeah, I'm
You know
not.
what I mean?
That's the
It
thing.
hasn't
You're talking
exploded yet.
about.
You know what I mean? It hasn't really exploded yet. We haven't seen Derek Carr. When's the last time you seen Derek Carr throw like 3 touchdowns? You know what I'm saying? Like
It's been a long time. But the thing is, I think the point that you were trying to make was that feeling of being down 10-3 on the sidelines.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I was just speaking on the fact of how would they feel? I don't know, but we know Carr isn't going to waver.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
kind of what I was saying. I wasn't really talking about he's going nuts on the field. I think it's just more about what you're saying, how they would feel being down 10-3, being 1-4, having a new regime, all this new stuff. Having him at quarterback kind of helps the rest of the team just continue to stay level-headed, continue to stay motivated, and to play well. Some people just would stop playing well because it's just, you know what I mean? It's 1-4. Like, shit, you know what I mean? We've been a bad team, had Randy Moss on the damn team. He was not playing like Randy Moss.
Right.
You go to the Patriots and damn near won the freaking undefeated season Super Bowl the very next year.
Yeah.
So it's like, what the? It's like, what?
Had like 20-something touchdowns that season.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So it's Carr's not being elite right now or anything like that. Josh Jacobs definitely is, and he's carrying this offense. But as far as just like the locker room mental, I definitely love to give Derek Carr some of that credit.
So what do you? I know you talked about the defense, and I know you probably get some chats, but like, what do you think about the offense? Like, what would you grade the offense? Because
let's get to the offense. I'm gonna get to some comments real quick, and then we'll get to the offense. Shout out to our guy Agent Red. He said, "Pulling up late, great complimentary win for the nation. Salute Ray, salute Pharaoh. Appreciate you pulling up, Pharaoh. You know what it is, man. Raider Nation for life. Shout out to you, Agent Red, man. Look, Jacobs is a beast. He is a beast, and he's been a beast all year. We should have known this when we were playing Arizona because we'd be in a lot better position, but it is what it is. Definitely is what it is, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, still in the chat with us today, man. We gone over an hour because we got Pharaoh with us. I did send SVT the link, but I guess he ain't pulled up. Element Pro says, how is Chandler Jones, y'all? I mean, do you want us to be spoilers? I mean, I guess you're here with us already. Chandler Jones got his first, I guess, half a sack on a quarterback.
It's something.
Yeah, half a sack on a quarterback. Cleveland Pharaoh got in there. Got hit in we were in the NASCAR package. I did notice that I think it was Bilal Nichols next to Cleveland Pharaoh this time instead of putting. I think it was last time we had Cleveland Pharaoh and Kuntz on the NASCAR package, right? Kuntz wasn't in that NASCAR package today, so we talked about Kuntz, and I wonder if that practice just isn't looking good. But I would be disappointed in this regime if they really just like didn't give him opportunities. That would be disappointing, man.
They're not a fan of Kuntz like that.
Chandler Jones had maybe a couple of plays that stood out, but still no sacks. A half a sack, but you're right. He still hasn't got a sack, I guess. Because, Roland, what's good with you, man? He said, see, JJ ain't the reason we winning. He part of it. Look, this offense as a whole is playing like they should. Run, pass when we need to. Keep the clock going. It's a team effort, not one player. Roland, agree 100% with everything you just said, man. But I think it's more of, if you had to choose, who's the center of the offense right now? Who's the one helping this offense actually get down the field? I think the point is that it's JJ, right? We're feeding off the run. And at the beginning of the season, nobody was going to say we're going to feed off the run. Nobody was saying that. Everybody was talking about the damn passing game. Waller, Renfro, Adams, and Carr. That's what everybody was talking about. And people did bring up Jacobs, but it was mainly the passing game. High-powered offense, passing. Who's going to stop Waller if Adams is over here getting double covered and Renfro's underneath? That's all we heard. So when you bring up Josh Jacobs, this is how you give the dude his credit. You give him the credit by saying what it is. We have to build the pass game off the run game. And we did talk about it, I believe, last night, or because I might mix up last night in the pregame show, but about how the play action pass, we needed to have different play action kind of maneuver in there a little bit. And we've seen Carr move a little bit out of these play action passes this time. So I'm glad to see it. And we're starting to wake up. I feel like Josh McDaniels is starting to wake up on the offense side.
And Roland, a good example of what we're talking about and what Raid is talking about. If you remember in the second half, I think it was at some point in the third quarter, maybe fourth quarter. I think it was the third quarter when the Raiders actually were like when they got the ball back and they actually went down the field. There was one drive where it was just heavy run. Heavy run. Josh Jacobs literally ran down their throat and literally went and scored a touchdown. And then the next drive, you've seen a lot more play action. So you see the impact of Josh Jacobs right there. And then, like, literally the fact that the threat of his run, the way he was running that game, the way the way he was dominating that game affected the way the Texans defended the Raiders, especially against the pass, because they're running play action and boom, we scored. I think I mean, obviously, Josh Jacobs ended it with a rushing touchdown, but you could see the difference in the drive. Like you could see the play calling, how they were mixing it up.
Yeah, most definitely. It was the first drive of the second half. It was the first drive of the second half, I believe you were talking about, and we were running heavy, man. We were running real heavy. Let me pull it up real quick if I can.
Yeah.
And we'll go ahead and look at it real quick, and we'll see. This is the first drive of the second half of what we're talking about right here. Run, incomplete. Up the middle to Renfro. There's a pass, but there's another run. There's an 11-yard pass to Moreau, another run, incomplete. There's pass to Moreau, and then another run for Josh Jacobs. 4-yard touchdown run. So a lot of Jacobs in this one, and then we came back. Pass to Adams.
And whenever you get a chance, pull up George Harris' comment. He makes a really good point. I heard this in the broadcast. Where they mentioned that in the first half, they noticed that Carr was calling a lot of audibles in the first half. But in the second half, you didn't hear Carr talk a lot in the line of scrimmage, meaning that whatever he was getting in his headset, he was just going with it.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. You know,
yeah, we had talked about that earlier in the show. Let me get this super though. Shout out to Christian Roman. He says, bro probably thought the season was over when Carr went down that first quarter. And I'll be honest, I didn't. I wasn't really too concerned.
Shit, I was nervous. You speak for yourself. I was like,
you should speak for yourself.
Because I seen his face. I see when I see Carr, like I was like, oh, like
you know what I mean? Carr always winces. I feel like Carr always like
he's dramatic.
A little something, and he's always like, he's like Peter from Family Guy, and he's always for hella long, and it's just like, all right, Carr. Get up and go back out there.
I think as Raiders fans, we have post-traumatic stress from that 2016 season when he went down and got hurt. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it is.
I definitely understand that. But I feel like the last 5 times he's done that, ain't not a damn thing happened.
Last year, I think it was against Pittsburgh. Against the Steelers. Yep, Steelers.
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And everybody was standing around him like, damn, is he dead? What the hell happened?
Yeah, he was down for a minute. The whole team, like, literally.
That's what I'm saying. So I was like, nah, I don't think he's down. And then last year we were playing the Chargers. He did it again. He went out with the groin injury and he just jumped off the field. I was like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
Then he came back the next game. So Carr's tough. I don't really get too concerned, but I know some people was shook. Of course, it's our quarterback. It's our franchise guy.
I was shook.
He said, I'm too drunk to join live, right? Maybe next time. Hey, that boy took a celebration to the next level. I'll let it hear.
Oh, man, he went crazy. He went crazy.
Do your thing, bro. Do your thing, bro. I ain't gonna cap. Yo, Ray Love says, run them likes up and subscribe. Make sure y'all go subscribe to that guy, Pharaoh, right now, man.
Ooh, man, appreciate that, man.
He's the guy, man. We got to get him to 1,000 subscribers. So
I'm right around the corner, man. I appreciate everybody that supported me, man. I'm growing every day, man, and I appreciate Ray. You know, if y'all haven't liked the video, because it's really important to like the video, especially because, you know, YouTube and all these apps, they're all run by algorithms, so it's really helpful. So all you got to do is just click on that button, make sure to like the video, subscribe to this guy right here, and then if you can, you know, go to Pharaoh NFL, PHAROAH NFL. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get to that 1K, but let's talk about this game, man. We're trying to get at the offense.
Yes, sir. And it says not a Raider YouTuber with Morgan Freeman as his profile picture. I don't know what the hell's going on anymore. But he says the run opens up the playbook most definitely. It's the center. It's the nucleus of this offense right now. It's definitely nucleus of this offense. And in this next comment, it's not anything crazy, but I do want to share more carries with other running backs and not only Josh Jacobs. It's not that I want to take carries away from Jacobs. It's that it's just I feel like one, you want to keep him kind of fresh. We're not even like midway through the season. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Two, you would definitely like for Zamir White to kind of get his legs under him for if anything were to happen down the season. Because right now, if Jacobs wasn't there, who the hell we gonna have run the football? Like,
but how many carries did he have today? He
20.
He had 20 carries, and I think he averaged like about at least 6 yards a carry.
Yeah.
Around there. So
Yeah.
it's not like he had like 30
No,
carries.
no. He averaged over 7 yards a carry.
Yeah. So yeah, I hear what you're saying, especially because, and then when I see Zamir coming in, it's hard to really gauge how effective he is because you can't just give a running back one carry and be like, oh, okay.
Yeah. You give him one dive play, and it's like you can't. It's a dive. Like it's kind of like dives don't just all of a sudden just hit the hole and you go. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's usually just a 2-3 yard gain. So
it's like when you play basketball, you got to have a little bit of rhythm, and running backs they need a little rhythm. So you got to give them the ball a little bit more so they can see the creases and see how how fast, especially as a guy like Zamir White. He's a rookie. You know what I mean? The NFL speed is real, so he's trying to get used to the NFL. So it's very important that they can incorporate him. That's a good point because if Josh Jacobs goes down, and I don't even put that in the air, I'm not even gonna say that, man. But all I'm saying that I agree 100%. We do need to start incorporating the other running backs because we got like 5. We got like 5,
bro.
Like
Brenton Brown. I mean, I would love to see Brenton Brown just get a couple of touches here and there. I mean, even if it's like, think about it,
7.2. Damn.
I would say maybe not this game, right? Maybe not this game because the way it ended, it took till the fourth quarter to really get that comfortable lead.
Right.
But if we're able to get a comfortable lead on another team, go ahead and let Zamir White go close it out. You know, if we got a 2-possession game and there's only 6 minutes left or something like that, and we got the ball, then let's see if Zamir White can get some touches. Let's see if he can close it out with the mixture of Josh Jacobs and just tailor him in something. But I feel like we need more than just Jacobs running the ball because we know he does get injured here and there. It's still early in the season. I mean, it's still early in the season. And, you know, using him as a bell cow, I would just like him to stay.
And that goes to my that goes to my original point about how like Josh Jacobs is really carrying the offense, carrying his team because like where would we be without him? Like no one else is really. The passing offense is too inconsistent. You know what I mean? You can tell like they're still figuring it out. Like you know what I mean? As recently as the Chiefs game, Hunter Renfrow, Devontae Adams are running into each other, and who knows what's happening in film. I know Ray, you study the film a lot, so you probably see some stuff where people are running wrong routes, you know what I mean, and probably Derek Carr's running, reading the coverage wrong, at the end of the day, because I felt like early in the game, I felt like Derek Carr was dinking and dunking a little bit.
He was because he's afraid to throw down the field when there's 2 safeties. He's known for that. He is known for that. You know damn well when it's double coverage, he is not trying to throw it there.
Yeah, Ray was telling me, Ray was telling me about it, and I was like, damn, bro.
Yeah, whenever it's a too high safety, whether it's a too high safety with man, whether it's a too high safety because it's cover 2 or whatever it is, cover 4, he is not finna try. He's not trying to throw that thing downfield. And what he did, we got a touchdown, and that's taking a shot. You know what I mean? He took a shot, and that's the only time we've seen it. He took that one shot, and that's called dialing the shit up. They dialed it up. They were waiting for their opportunity. They said, "This is opportunity here to take a shot."
Right,
took a shot, and that's the only time we really seen anything go far downfield. Right, so
yeah. So I'm definitely probably gonna have to watch the game again and like look at like some of the final stats. I haven't really looked too much into it. I'm kind of like reacting just as much as everybody else, man. I'm enjoying the win, enjoying the W. But I'm glad we got the W. But just thinking about the game just a little bit, I'm like, it was the Texans, but it seemed like it was still a struggle. You know what I mean? It was a little bit.
But this is the thing. This is what I was trying to say. Like, you can't sleep on the Texans, man. Like, even though it's the Texans, everybody's like, oh yeah, the Texans. The Texans aren't the same Texans. Like, they're just not.
Yeah.
They actually have some kind of heart over there. Like, I've actually watched some of their games. I went and looked at the stats. I'm like, damn, hold up. They put 24 up against the Chargers. They were stifling against the Chargers. What the hell's going on here? We lost to the Chargers too. You know what I mean? They scored more points against the Chargers than we did.
Yeah. And I might be overthinking it. Because at the end of the day, like, we blew them out. Like, this is the largest loss they had this season. Yeah. You mean? And a lot of their games are close. So they come into Las Vegas and lose by 18. So.
And one thing I want to say is that, and I said it on the live last night, is that when you look at their last couple of games, they found a philosophy that's different than the beginning of their first couple of games. Right? Their first 3 versus their last 3 they played before us is at first they weren't really running it like that. These last few games, they found out Dameon Pierce, this dude's going to be the bell cow. This dude's going to be able to run it. So when they're able to be close, like they were 10-10 at half, and they're able to still be able to run it, then it's going to be a lot more stifling. It's going to be closer because they're able to you're running out the clock that way because you know you're not a good team. So you want to chew that clock up and stay as close as possible as far as points. And then what happens is they have to drop back and pass the ball now. Now, the moment they're down and the timer's running out and they have to pass the ball, oh shit. You're throwing interceptions, returns for a touchdown. You're starting to get sacked by Max Crosby. So that's kind of like just the formula of the game, how it goes. If you let them stick around, then it's really bad. You know, that's why a lot of their games recently, they've been able to stick around because they're found this formula, run the clock out because we could have a bell cow and Dameon Pierce and we could stick close, but they just don't have the weapons, right? And it showed at the end of the game when they had to drop back and actually pass the damn ball. And, you know, it's like the first drive they actually had a pass, interception for a touchdown. Like, bro, it just, you know what I mean? It was telling. It was just telling at that point.
Who does Dameon Pierce remind you of? Running back for the Texans. Does he remind you of Jacobs?
Because you brought it up, I'm like, he's going to say he reminds him of Jacobs. But I would say I would have to watch him a lot more because I feel like Jacobs, his vision is uncanny, right? Like,
he's shifty too.
Yeah, bro. Like his quickness is crazy. He's quick. He's not fast, but he's crazy quick.
Yeah.
So and he just got this lateral movement. So it's hard to compare him to Jacobs. But I would say he's in that realm, right? He's in that realm of ball carrier vision, being strong, kind of running back. I would definitely put him in that realm.
Yeah.
Aaron Carlson, though, we talked about this and we're still on the offense. So I would love to see, do you think we're going to go on a roll? We just won a game. We're 2-4. Do you think we go on a roll? I think at the least we go I agree with Aaron Carlson. I said this earlier. I think we go on at least a three-game win streak. And that'll be 500. That's kind of a clean slate halfway through the season. We could drop maybe 2 or 3 the rest of the season, but it gives us some comfort. Shout out to Purple and Gold Raider. He says, yo, like the hat. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man, that's still here with us. We've been here a little longer than usual, but you know what I mean? Check our Redemption brand, man. You can go check our Redemption brand if y'all want to. Go
got me ahead as well.
Check out the first edition collection. Pillage series just dropped, so check it out, man. Appreciate you, Purple and Gold.
JT said Lamar Miller. He reminds him of Lamar Miller. For real?
Oh, bro. You reaching, bro. Here you go. He always trying to come off with some off the wall stuff, man. JT, funny as hell. Raiders defense needs work. Texans have decent D. Yeah. They have a defensive coach, though. They have a defensive-minded head coach, so it's pretty cool. It's definitely pretty cool that they're able to, you know, get a defensive-minded head coach and their defense is decent. We haven't had a defensive-minded coach since not Gruden. I'm drawing a blank. JDR. Since JDR. And even when JDR came in, we still didn't have a defense that was ranked higher than 20. So
now the last time we've had a good defense was probably that Super Bowl.
It was. It was.
Yep.
It was 2002. That's why I always say. That's why you always hear me say, bro, it's been 20 years since our defense is good. Why are you keep saying it sucks? It's always going to suck till we change something.
A lot of people like to bring up 06 when we had Nnamdi, but you guys didn't realize how bad the Raiders were. So like the numbers were kind of like weird.
Super cute.
Because they would go up on a big. So for example, like they would just literally run up the score on us, and then like a lot of this defensive stats were kind of skewed a little bit. So.
Yeah, I agree. It was kind of like Carr's rookie year. We were first in the league in red zone offense.
Oh yeah, that's true. With who as the offensive coordinator?
I don't even know who it was. Who was it?
It's your favorite offensive coordinator, bro.
Greg Olson.
Greg Olson.
Greg Olson. It was Greg Olson. Yeah, his rookie season. He had Greg
Olson. Caller of the year. Greg Olson. You know what I mean? QB coach.
Number one red zone offense in the league. Carr's rookie year. That's crazy. But that's just because the numbers are so skewed.
Yeah, facts.
It's because that's all. We would get to the red zone. We scored, but it was because they just didn't care. Like we were getting blown out. They're like, okay, you're in the red zone. Go ahead.
So that's for everybody that goes off numbers all the time. Like numbers don't always tell the truth. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you got to really watch the game.
You got to look into the play.
There's so many different factors you got to look into before you can really judge how good a team is and stuff like that.
Yo, shout out to Redder Cutas for pulling up and dropping a super sticker. Thank you for the donation, brother. Shout out to you, man. I see you got that LA Dodgers in there, man. Didn't they just get knocked out of the playoffs? I don't know, man. I don't know too much about, but I'm just messing with them.
Salute to Ray, Ray Ray's in the chat.
Ray in the building. Shout out to my guys. Heck of a show last night. A lot of talking points showed up today. Definitely, man. Definitely. Facts. And you know, shout out to Ray. He just reminded me though, man. I've been getting rain. They've been cooking me on Twitter, right? Yeah. Oh, look at the offense today. Oh, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Well, isn't this the first time you could say the offense has done this? Yes, it is. This is the first time the offense has put up 30 points. Yeah, the entire league. And that's all I was saying.
Yeah.
Literally all I was saying, I was like, well, you know.
Because we scored 29 against the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. And then against the Broncos, we only scored 26 because Amik had that, return for the touchdown. So yeah, you're right.
25.
Yeah, 25. There you go. Yep.
So
but yeah, man. Hey, man, it's a great win, man. I'm definitely excited, man. Like, but at the same time, I do have like some questions, especially about the defense. Like, when is this? When are we going to see some type of improvement? Because this is right off the bye week. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm kind of like. But I don't want to stay too much on that. But yeah, man. What do you like? I don't know if you asked the chat like, how do they feel about the offense? What kind of grade would you give the offense today?
No, I haven't asked the chat. That's a good one, man. Down in the chat, we just got done talking about the offense too. So this is a good turning point. Go ahead and drop in the chat right now, man. For everybody that's still in the chat, put your grade for the offense. Put your grade for the offense, because a lot of people on average, of course, it turned out to like a C. They gave the defense on average, it was like a C. I gave them a C as well. I feel like that's kind of cheating to give a C. It's like right in between. It's like giving a 7. You know what I mean? We don't do 7s, you know what I mean? It's either a 6 or an 8. So, matter of fact, I don't even know why we're sitting here doing letters, man. Y'all need to drop down on a scale of 1 to 10, man. On a scale of 1 to 10, you can't use 7.
1 to 10, okay.
On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rank the offense? On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rank the offense? You cannot use 7. You cannot use 7.
Can't use 7? I guess I'll give my score. I'll let them get this score. I'll give it an 8. I give it an 8. We scored 31 points.
See, that's how you get a little bit more accurate numbers right there, baby. Hey, look at all them 8s. Look at all them 8s. Look at all them 8s. 8s. 026. Hey, Agent Red.
Hey, man. Shout out to Derek Vehicle, one of the best names out there right there. Derek Vehicle. 8.5.
Oh my God, 8.5.
In the picture though, what is that? Derek Carr like 10 years from now or something like that? Like,
I don't even think Derek Carr look like that in 10 years, man. That's Derek. I don't know.
Man, people are creative as hell, man.
They I don't even know what they be doing.
How do you make that?
They just made this dude gain like 50 pounds for what? Like, why you do this to this man? That's crazy. 9. Okay, we got a 9. Hell no. Ain't no damn 9.
Damn near a dime. Okay, 9. No. All right.
A 9 for me, like that's because a 10 is perfect. So a 9 is damn near perfect, and they did not play damn near perfect. 10 points in the first half? No. Hell no. We should be putting up there. If a 9 for me.
But you're one of the biggest things that you were getting on the offense was that the fact that they didn't score 30 points, and they did score 30 points, and you're not gonna. Oh, he said not a 9. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying not a 9.
I got you.
I give him an 8. I give an 8. I give an 8.
I get you.
What I mean? Yep. They were solid. I feel like 10 points in the first half is solid, but in the second half they made up a lot for it. Especially in the fourth, scoring on every drive, a touchdown on every drive. Definitely love to see it.
Yeah,
Derek Vehicle, I'm dead. What the FY? I'm saying though, bro. Yo, he's been out here rocking for a minute too, so he ain't even new. He just been out here doing what he wants. So I respect him for everything he do. Ritter Ray says he gives him 8. Took your shot in the seam to Hollins, like we said. Effective run game, 3 touchdowns. Yo, I should have got Jacobs in fantasy. That boy, whoever plays Jacobs in fantasy, losing. Limited penalties, overall improvement. And great point, because the limited penalties, this is something I definitely wanted to see. One of my points to take away from this game. Would the offensive line limit the penalties? Would Jermaine Illuminor not freaking get a penalty for once in the damn game?
Yeah,
it looked good. It looked good to me.
I don't think he didn't get a penalty today too. I don't think he did.
No, I don't think the offense got a penalty.
Oh, they did. I think you remember when Devontae Adams got like a illegal block in the back.
No, I should have specified the offensive line.
Offensive line. Okay, yeah.
I don't think we got like a holding. I don't think we got a false start. Or no, we got one false start. And I think like the whole team moved.
No, that was guess who that was? That wasn't even the O-line. That was the fullback. Remember the fullback got a false start? Unless there must have been another false start. I don't know. Anybody in the chat could like throw it in there. But
Yeah, gonna have to
I
verify.
remember.
I thought like damn near most of the team moved besides the damn center or something like that.
Yeah. What's his name? Jakob Johnson.
Jakob.
Jakob. Yeah. I thought it was Jacob Johnson, but damn, I missed that.
Honestly, bro, it's like, is it Jesus or is it Jesus? And he's like, it's Jakob. All right, whatever, bro. It's not David, it's David. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell is he talking about, bro? Give me a damn break.
Ray, you be going in, bro.
SBT said a 9 would be scoring on the first half and yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, we would be putting up 48 points if you give them a 9. Like, that's what I would expect with this offense, with these pieces. Yeah, for sure.
And that's my hope too. Is I hope my hope
Jacob
is
Johnson,
that Yep. And my hope is that we can build off this win. The fact that this is going to give us a little bit more swagger, a little bit more confidence. You know what I mean? Hopefully, the coaching staff will stick to the run game. They don't do no weird stuff. They limit like some of the stuff that we were talking about earlier. That cute stuff that Josh McDaniels wants to run and stuff like that. Like, come on, we need to get that. It worked like probably a couple. Oh, another thing too, they need to get DJ Hunter or DJ Turner like out of special teams, bro. Like,
think so?
I know this might be too soon, but like we got a lot riding on this. Like right now, it's too critical of a season. We needed someone. I'm good with having someone experienced back there because how many times where he brought the ball out and kickoff, and we weren't even getting to the 25-yard line.
Honestly, I would just say the special team sucks. That's all I would say. Like, this special teams coach is getting bailed out by how good our kickers are.
True.
Like how do you not block? How are we getting penalties? Like, we're getting penalties on special teams more than we are on defense, I think, today.
Yeah. Our kick return, our return game, and our coverage is terrible.
It's garbage. And we knew it when we got that coach came in. Everybody was like, why did we bring him in? This dude sucks. We really downgraded from Rich Bisaccia to this dude, whoever it is. It's not McMahon. What's his name?
Hey, look, Edgar, Brandon said, I think Turner just needs more reps. That's the thing, though, man. Like, right now, this is why when you dig yourself a deep hole like this, every game, like now, like we cannot afford to lose. Think about it. You brought up how you were kind of scared when he fumbled the ball. Yeah. He literally fumbled the ball in a critical moment in the game where like the momentum was on our side. That could have went easily to, you know what I mean? That could have been a tie. Like that could have been a momentum swinger for the Texans. They could have got back into the game. So I'd rather have someone experienced back there because, like you said, either way, our return game sucks. Our coverage unit sucks, so we might as well go conservative, and put a veteran back there that got good hands and catch a damn ball and don't make any dumb decisions out there because we can't afford to have DJ Turner, even though he could possibly break one loose. Nah, bro, we barely got to the 25-yard line, and like literally he almost fumbled the game away. And I think someone else said in the chat too,
I agree. He had me shook when he dropped that. I'm like, bro, ain't no damn way.
And Prez, it don't got to be Renfro. We got other veterans. You know what I mean? We got some other veterans out there. So that's all I'm saying. And if it's Renfro,
I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine, man. Honestly, I think that was like he dropped it, but I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be cool.
All right, man. You want to roll the dice on DJ Turner? I bet you if he fumbled the game away, you wouldn't be saying this. I bet you.
Nah, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be. You damn right. I wouldn't be. I'll be flaming him right now. Get him out the damn game. What we got him in for?
So we gotta wait. We gotta wait. We gotta wait till he actually turns the ball over. Like, nah. Like we seen.
No. I'm just giving you a hard time. No, I definitely think you give him time unless you want Renfro to go back there. I don't want anybody else, either him or Renfro. For me, it's either him or Renfro. Who do you want? Amir Abdullah? I don't know. That's how I got it. He said throw Deuce back there.
Hey man, I'd rather have a veteran out there. It could be anybody else.
Deuce back there. Who's Deuce?
Julio Jones, man. Y'all, hey man, you gotta clean that chat right here.
Julio Jones, man. You got that one eye sleepy on him.
Ray Love says, yes, we are trading a Meek for a new water boy. Damn,
y'all did a Meek like that. I would expect.
Was he struggling this game? Was he struggling this game? I don't think Meek was. I thought it was Avery.
When they scored a touchdown, they fell.
Oh, okay.
He failed, but it was Avery was the one that got scored on.
Yeah.
Agent Red, well, this is how we this right here, man. Let's have this topic right here real quick.
Okay.
This is how we'll close it too. Do we make any trades before the next game?
Before the next game, that's hard to say. I mean, that's hard to say. Let me actually. When is the trade deadline? I got to confirm the trade deadline first. But
is it Thursday? Isn't it Thursday?
Is it coming up this week? Okay. It's possible.
It's week 8. It's week 8.
I mean, if we can find a player that can actually make an impact on our team, meaning that they're familiar with this coaching staff, it's really possible, because that's why we hear rumors like Nelson Aguilar, because he played in Josh McDaniels' system. He's played with Derek Carr, so it's going to be a smooth fit. I know yesterday I posed a question to you and Ray, and I said, who would be a better, what would be a better transition, a D lineman or someone in the secondary? And you were like, someone in the secondary. So maybe a guy like William Jackson III, that was, people were talking about earlier in the last week, is a possibility. But we'll see, man. Like, at the end of the day, like, that defense does need a little bit of help. But do you think that is more of a talent issue, or guys ain't figuring out that defense, or is it a combination of both?
I would say it's somewhat a combination of both. But as far as like trading for a guy and like how would it learn, I wouldn't be if we're going to trade for a guy that's going to move the needle, that's going to actually make an impact, I wouldn't be too concerned on whether he could learn the defense or not. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be too concerned with that. But I don't think there's anybody out there we would really trade for that would make a splash, that would make a difference. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? Because we don't really know who's available. Like, we don't really know who is really, really available. There's surprise trades all the time, and it's like, oh, we didn't even know that dude was available. What the hell?
Right.
So if we were able to contact teams about a defensive tackle, I would love to do that. But at the same time, I don't know if this regime really wants to get defensive tackle. I think they believe in Hankins and Bilal Nichols right now. And then having these other guys come in, I think they believe in them. I would really like to get a dominant defensive tackle. But then again, like corner, you talk about DB Hobbs on IR. We definitely need help there. But I don't see anybody really making too much of a difference coming here to play with us. William Jackson would be a great pickup. I'd love to bring him in. But I haven't seen his game in a while. I got to be honest. I haven't seen his game in a while. I don't know if he's as good as he used to be when he played for the Bengals. Because I remember when he was on the Bengals, I watched a lot of him, and he was solid. He looked pretty cool. But I don't know how he is now. So I wouldn't be able to tell you indefinitely.
Yeah. And then you got to look at it this way, too. Like, trades really don't happen a lot in the NFL, just because, like, the fact that the point
that a lot.
Because you said what?
It takes a lot.
Yeah, it takes a lot.
In the NFL, people like their players. Like, no, we like this guy at this spot. We do not want to give this up. Like, it's too.
Yeah. That too, and also the fact that, like, literally, what are the chances that a player is going to pick up a whole playbook and make an impact on that team?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You mentioned that certain positions might be easier than others, but it's not a lot, man. So that's what I'm saying. And I think I posted on my Instagram story. It was Adam Schefter reported that, like, literally all the good players from the Carolina Panthers. I know y'all were looking at the Carolina Panthers roster. They're not trying to trade Derek Brown. They're not trying to trade Brian Burns. They're not trying to trade J.C. Horn, DJ Moore. All the basically players that a lot of teams want. So
yeah, all the players they drafted.
Exactly.
They're not letting go any of the players they drafted. You think about Robbie Anderson dipped. Yeah. They didn't draft him, but CMC they drafted. But he's been there he's not even on a rookie contract. He's already on a big contract. So that's probably why they shipped him, plus the injuries. So yeah, most definitely.
For sure. And you know what it is too? Another thing is that, like, a lot of players, like a lot of people, if you notice some of the players that get traded, they're usually like veterans. Yeah. Like veterans, you know what I mean? Contracts they're trying to get rid of.
Yeah. It goes.
Young players on rookie deals are hard. Like they rarely get traded.
I would say it's here or there because usually it's veteran actually. Yeah. Because I was just thinking, wasn't that one dude getting shipped around, CJ Henderson? He was a cornerback.
That's rare though. You know what I'm saying?
Shipped around, and then offensive linemen I feel like are more favored as like younger offensive linemen get traded a lot more. But as far as like skilled positions and stuff like that, hell no. Because if they're good, it's like, yeah, they ain't going nowhere. But you see people
And I'm saying like
East?
good players. I'm saying like good players. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. In
Good,
football, you never want to get rid of your good players. We're the
yeah.
only team that does that. We're the only team that's like, oh, Khalil Mack, yeah, we'll trade him. Amari Cooper, yeah, we're trading. You know what I mean? Like, who does that? Or I don't know, maybe DeAndre Hopkins when you're the Texans and you want to just trade him for a bag of peanuts and some Doritos, spicy nacho Dorito chips.
Damn, you said Doritos.
Oh no,
that's crazy.
What you think of Merrick? Jones sack equals 17 million. Oh my god.
Half sack equals 17 million.
Half of a sack equals seconds. What do I think of Merrick? He got to step up. Like we talked about it in the show, KC. I talked about it last night on Pharaoh's show as well. And it's funny because we just got done saying Merrick needs to step up. He goes out there, doesn't step up. So he still needs to. Unless you're Alex Leatherwood, you just get cut. That's crazy. Niners gave up 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and a 5th next year for CMC.
And he did look nice though. I was catching a little bit of like the Niner game to see that KC score, and I seen that they had like some packages for him. You know what I mean? Because I know he doesn't have a lot to work with because he just came on last Thursday, but he was effective when he was out there, man. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, injuries. Yeah. It is a gamble. High risk, high reward move with CMC. It works out, but they couldn't beat the Chiefs, bro. They was like, yeah, they need a quarterback.
They need a quarterback, bro. Like Jimmy G, I seen some of the highlights. I'm like, bro, Jimmy G, dog. This dude is he's bad.
Yeah, it's
bad.
You know what? It's funny. They have like a weird problem. Like they know that Jimmy G is like not going to get it done, but then they drafted a guy in that guy literally is on the injury reserve.
In Trey Lance, yeah.
Trey Lance.
What did they trade? A 1st round pick? 2 1st-round pick for him?
Yeah, something like that. To move up and get him, and he doesn't really look too good either. Like from what we've seen, he doesn't really look like a game changer at the quarterback position. So it's just like, damn, it is what it is. I'm glad I'm not a Niner fan. Who cares?
For real. Oh, shout out to Agent Red. Merrick looks scared to make plays on the ball. He's always stepped or 2 behind. Yeah, we was talking about that, man. It's like he was trying to jump the route, but at the same time realized he was late, and he was just like, oh, I'm gonna give up on this. I don't know. Does he have? I don't want to question his. I'm not even gonna question his desire to play football or his heart, but I don't know. Edgar Bonilla with the super. He says your thoughts on trick plays, jet sweeps. Yeah, we talked about this as well, man. The jet sweep to Turner was nice. That was a nice little run. We talked about that on his show as well, man. That we would like to see him get like a quick jet sweep out there and get that in. But it's
they really like him. They really like DJ Turner because they literally have a whole package set up for him. You know what I mean? Like they really believe in him as a player. So but man,
we might see some more plays like that coming out from him. But the trick plays, I'm done with those, bro. I'm like, what the hell?
McDaniels is not done. That's his like specialty.
K-Town says some Raider fans were like, trade Jimmy G and get rid of.
Oh my God, what Raider fans, bro? Like, come on, man.
No, they were, bro. They were. Last year they were.
Come on, man. Jimmy G to me is a great backup quarterback. Great backup quarterback to me.
I don't even know if he's a good backup quarterback anymore, bro, because he's being the backup right now.
Yeah, but a good backup quarterback only plays a certain amount of games. You can't expect the backup quarterback to be there the whole season and play well. Like that's like kind of rare.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you on that. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean,
so like let's say Derek Carr gets hurt for a couple games.
Huh?
Let's say Derek Carr gets hurt for a couple games and Stidham comes in. You trust Stidham or Mariota when he was there? Mariota a little bit because he has a little more experience.
Yeah,
exactly. You get what I'm trying to say? That's a good backup that could come in a pinch. Boom. Get some yards. Let Josh Jacobs run the offense. He says not only Raider fans but some Raider YouTuber.
What? I don't know, man. Sometimes I miss a lot of.
It's probably a conversation what happened in the chat or something like that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't think a Raider YouTuber was saying trade Carr and pick up Jimmy G. That's insane.
The chat is going wild. Let's see. We should trade. We should trade a few pieces for draft capital. Damn, you're looking. Whew. That can mess up the locker room chemistry. That's the one thing about trades. It's kind of people kind of look at it from like a Madden perspective. Like they're like, let's trade some players. But at the end of the day, like if it's a talented team, you can mess up the locker room chemistry too. At the same
I
time.
don't see that comment.
ML said we should trade at 6:47 p.m. He said we should trade a few pieces for draft capital.
He said, "Where's Raider Reaper? He's probably after them snow bunnies." Yo, he was here for the pregame. He was here for the pregame. I don't know where he at. He probably drunk like you, man. He probably out here drunk with a snow bunny.
Oh yeah, damn. I'm kind of behind. My bad. I'm all the way behind. Damn.
Turner first game back. I think he will get better, like his explosiveness. Yeah, I like his explosiveness too. I think it'll be solid. He said, "That's my stepdad." That boy wild. Pharaoh, last year I had so many debates about him. Russell Wilson, Herbert, Kyler.
Who you talking about? Who are you talking about?
I don't know. He might be talking about Jimmy G and Carr. He might be. What do you think about Herbert, man?
I haven't watched too much Herbert this season. I'm gonna be completely honest. You know what I mean? I've been 100% focused on the Raiders. I've caught, every now and then I'll catch some other games, but I think Herbert is a good quarterback. I just don't think that the coaching staff and as time goes on, the coaching staff of the San Diego Chargers is getting exposed because they do. Let's be honest. The Chargers are talented. You know what I mean? So if you're telling me they have a talented team and they're not winning games or they're getting blown out by the Seattle Seahawks, you know what I mean? Pete Carroll over there, Pete Carroll got them boys playing hard with Geno Smith at quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Who we play too. Hey, let's keep an eye out. We played them on the schedule this year, so we can't take them lightly. But they got blown out by them. That's being there. And if you get blown out by a team, you're getting out coached and outplayed straight up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Herbert's been a mid. I know you're not a Herbert guy. Are you not a Herbert guy? You're not a Herbert guy. Do you think Herbert? Yeah, you're not. I know we had this little back and forth early on in the past.
Edgar says Herbert's still hurt. Look, excuses flowing in for Herbert. I'm appalled right now. I am appalled. I'm beside myself.
Yeah, he is hurt though.
For Herbert, wow. Excuses for Herbert. Sheesh.
So hold up. So do you think Herbert is a top 10 QB?
Yeah. I think he's a top 10 quarterback.
Okay.
I think by fault he'll always be a top 10 quarterback because he just has tangibles that no other quarterback has. Like he's automatically in this category, right? To where he's just going to be and show these flashes, but he doesn't have that it factor. He just doesn't have that it factor. And this is what I talked about last year. I told y'all this shit last year. I said Herbert doesn't have the it factor. He's not a winner. He's not a winner.
He just played for the Chargers, bro. That's what it is. If he played for any other team,
because even coming out of college, he wasn't a winner. Like
if he played for the Falcons, you would have been like, "Oh, he's a good quarterback."
Nah,
and I'm not saying that you're saying that. I'm not
Herbert
saying
was my favorite quarterback coming out of the draft when he got drafted. He was
drafted the Chargers.
He was my favorite quarterback.
And he got drafted to the Chargers, and then he became like he's ass, like he's not that good, or yada. You know what I mean? So
no, that's not what it was. He has all the tangibles to be this great quarterback, which he is, but he doesn't have an it factor. Think about it like this. This is how I always use an analogy with Joe Burrow. Who's a better quarterback? You're going to probably – I'm not going to answer for you. Who has a better quarterback skill set, Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert?
I think Herbert is more physically talented. But Burrow, man, he did take his team to the Super Bowl too. But damn,
what does Burrow do better than Herbert? Name one thing.
What does Burrow do? He's probably more accurate. You could argue who's damn, but but Herbert is accurate too. Damn.
He's more accurate on what? On a
look. If you Burrow actually led the league, I think, in completion percentage, or he was top 3. He was number 2 or he was top 3 in that category.
I mean, Herbert was probably like 6th. I mean, does it really?
Well, Burrow. The thing is, his game is not predicated on having a great arm. You know what I'm saying? It's all about.
Hold on. All I asked was who has a better skill. Hold on. All I asked was what does Burrow do better than Herbert? That's all I'm asking. Is he more mobile than Herbert?
No.
Does he have a bigger arm than Herbert?
Yeah, but you're naming qualities that Herbert is better than.
Okay,
Burrow.
name a quality that Burrow has better than Herbert.
You could argue he's probably more accurate. You know what I mean? Maybe he has better intangibles. You know what I mean? You brought up intangibles.
What? He's not taller. He's not faster. He's not stronger.
man, he led his team to the Super Bowl, so he it seems
I'm just
I don't know,
asking, what does he do better?
like physically.
I'm just asking what he does better. Anything. You know what it is? He has an it factor. He's a winner. That's it.
But
That's
that, but
it. That's it.
that's why I said intangibles. That's why I said
But
intangibles.
what's intangibles really mean? Usually intangibles is like, okay, you talk
It's
about genetic intangibles, you're talking
because when
about
you're saying
football
when you're
intangibles.
saying it factor, that's intangibles, right? You're talking about some of the things that make
Oh
him
no,
great
when I say
based
it
off.
factor, it's like kind of something you can't teach. You're just kind of like you're just born with it, bro. You just got that it factor.
Yeah,
Like you're
that
just
certain
born with it.
that confidence,
And
that
like
swagger.
there's a reason. This is the only way I can kind of explain it is that Joe Burrow does nothing better than Herbert. Nothing. He doesn't throw better. He doesn't throw the ball better than Herbert. No way. He doesn't throw farther than Herbert. You can maybe argue he's more accurate, but I mean, like, what is that really kind of like? It's not really like, you know what I mean? It's hard to say who's more accurate. They throwing the ball, like they're getting it there. He's got a stronger arm. He's taller. He's faster. He's more mobile. He's got a. He's still
That's
accurate as ever. Like throwing it 50 yards.
it's a good argument. Burrow and Herbert is a good argument. I think a lot of people will give Burrow the edge because obviously he took his team to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And he's literally he literally came back from like a ACL injury. Like, and it's like, and I know Solmir says salute to him. He said full by IQ. You said John Taylor said, okay, Burrow's QB IQ, red zone accuracy, game knowledge.
It says Burrow's more polished, but
I don't
it's
know.
like
You can't say that with 100% confidence though. You
that's
know
what
what I
I'm
mean?
saying. Like, what is it?
Because when you watch Herbert play, it's like you can't really see any like.
And this is what I'm saying though. You can't put a finger on it. And what it is what you can't teach, the it factor. The winner. He's a winner. Like Burrow's a winner. Like LSU, winner. You know what I mean? He goes to the Bengals. He's still a winner. Like he's just an it factor, bro. He's a winner, dog. You can't teach it. And Joe Burrow doesn't have that. If Joe Burrow had all the intangibles that Justin Herbert has, would Joe Burrow be a better quarterback than he is now? Would you say that?
So hold up. So you're just basically saying that why you would take Joe Burrow over Herbert? Is that your whole thing?
What do you mean by that? Would
Because
I take him over him? Yeah, yeah.
So what's your point? What's your point about Herbert? Because I know you said
Is that he doesn't have the
both
win
can
factor.
agree, and everybody can
Herbert,
can agree that Herbert is top 10 QB. Everybody can
yeah,
agree
pretty
with that.
much, yeah.
Yeah, we both agree. So then so you're just like kind of arguing like if why Burrow and Herbert set them like why they're different. I don't get like what's the point of like comparing Burrow and Herbert if
Well,
you're
the
saying
reason I'm comparing those two is because they're young quarterbacks, like you know what I mean, like that, but also because they took over for a team. You know what I mean? Like Joe Burrow took over a terrible team. Justin Herbert took over a team that just went to the playoffs. You know what I mean? Everybody says Justin Herbert is so great, but what does he? But he. My point is that he doesn't have the it factor. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have that winner mentality. That's my point. He
man,
doesn't, and
I
that's why
think
he will never be a great quarter or never get the Chargers to that place.
look, bro, you just said never be a great quarterback, and you had to cut yourself off. Look, man, hey,
No, he's already a great quarterback, but that's his extent because he doesn't have the it factor. He's not a winner. That's my point. Like you can't teach it, bro. I don't know how to explain it for you to understand, but it's kind of like this. You couldn't even tell me.
I get what
Yeah.
you're saying. I get what you're saying by it factor. There's certain QBs, there's certain players that got that it factor that are winners, but also I do kind of consider people's situations. You know what I mean? Like this certain situations, and I don't want to really talk about it too much because obviously Herbert does play for a talented football team. He has Keenan Allen, he has Mike Williams, but we can argue. Do you feel like Herbert's coaching staff is elite or good?
This is the thing. I wouldn't say it's any more better or worse than the Bengals. Like, who's the
Well,
Bengals head coach? What's his name?
you can't hate on the Bengals coaching staff because they just went to the Super Bowl like a year ago.
No,
So
I'm not. The thing is, I'm not hating on it. But what I'm saying is, like, now we're getting outside of talking about the quarterback.
But
We're talking about the coaching, and we're getting outside
the
of
reason why like I brought that up is because that has something to do with the quarterback's performance. You know what I mean?
I agree, but at what point are you going to say you're just going to compare the two, right? Like, at what point do you just stop moving the goalposts? Like, that's why I just asked, like, based purely off a quarterback, what does Burrow do better than Herbert? And you could hardly say anything. I could say the thing is, you could say 2 to 3 things Herbert definitely does better than Burrow. You can for a fact. You can for a fact say that. He
say that
throws
Burrow
farther,
does.
he runs faster, he's weighs more, he's taller. If you run faster, you're bigger and stronger than the next guy. You are probably going to dominate them.
You're talking about like physical attributes. You're talking about physical attributes.
That's the only thing. At that, what about throwing the football? He's just as accurate, if not more accurate, and he throws farther, a more accurate ball farther than Burrow, and that's a fact.
Okay, who has better receivers?
Probably Joe Burrow.
Okay.
Definitely.
Who has a better coaching staff?
That's kind of
because the reason why I bring this up is because it does affect how you see a QB. Because when you have a good coaching staff behind you, then the QB is elevated. Now you can see the QB play in big moments and play in bigger games. Win, you know what I mean? You can see the it factor and all that.
Yeah.
But if you don't have
I got something for you though.
Okay, go ahead.
So the Bengals do have a better wide receiver corps, arguably, right? T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, and Jamar Chase. But when healthy, the Chargers wide receiver room isn't that bad. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams versus those three isn't that bad. It's really not. Who are you going to pick?
I like Keenan Allen. I like Keenan. I think Keenan Allen is a good receiver, but I think he's a number 2 receiver. I don't think he's a number 1 receiver. Mike Williams, I think, is overrated in my opinion. He's too inconsistent for me. But you can argue that he's a number 2 receiver as well. So he doesn't really have a number 1 receiver. But Joe Burrow, you can argue, has probably Joe Burrow has 2 number 1 receivers, bro.
Who?
T. Higgins.
You gonna tell me T. Higgins is a number 1 over Keenan Allen?
No. I'm not saying he's over.
You gonna sit here and say T. Higgins is a number 1, but say Keenan Allen's a number 2? You out your damn mind.
I think he has more. He has a higher ceiling. He has a higher ceiling. I should say he has a higher. He has a higher ceiling,
dog. You bring up the damn stats. You know damn well Keenan Allen.
Jamar, all right, okay. Look. Because you're gonna just so we don't get off track. Okay, Jamar Chase. All right, Jamar Chase is a number 1 receiver.
Jamar Chase is his number 1. Keenan Allen is Herbert's number 1.
Okay, so the totality, let's not
try and nitpick because now we're getting nitpicky, and it's like, bro, it's
the truth though.
They're good receivers, dog.
Look. All right, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because what's one of I'm gonna talk about Derek Carr, a quarterback for the Raiders, right? One of the biggest things that we talked about Derek Carr for all these years is that he has a lot of inconsistency with the coaching staff. He didn't have the right players, this, and the third, right? So it kind of affects how you view Derek Carr, right? So let's flip the script. Now you're talking about Justin Herbert, right? We're talking about Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow. And you say you would take Joe Burrow over Justin Herbert because of the it factor. But at the end of the day, what helps the it factor? The fact that you have a good coaching staff, the fact that you have good players around you. What happens if you don't have that around you? Then what is the it factor? Nothing. What is it going to get you?
Let me ask you.
What is it going to get you?
Let me ask you though. How big of a difference is the wide receiver core really, dog? Like, we acting like it's precipitous. Like, it's not that big of a difference. It's really not. Keenan Allen's a good receiver. Let's not try and downplay. He's a number 1.
No. He's a good receiver.
So let's not nitpick at the receiver room. They're good receiver. They both have good receiver cores.
Yeah, he's a good receiver. They're good receivers.
You know, who has a better offensive line? It's bro, you didn't even have to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
You didn't have to do that. Now you talk about the coaching staff.
Better running back. They both got good running backs.
They both have good running backs. Okay. Now you want to talk about defenses. Both of the defenses the Bengals defense played better.
Chargers defense got talent, but they don't play like it. You know what I mean?
They do weird stuff. I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? That's coaching. That's coaching, bro.
Coaching. I feel you on that. But when the quarterback is considered to be so good, all that stuff shouldn't really matter as much. Because Carr never got the respect that you're talking about for Herbert. Never.
But hey, salute to everybody that's pulling up right now. Raider Football Tech says Eckler's also better back than Mixon. But how much better back than Mixon is nice though, bro.
No, I can't say that. Nope. I'm sorry. Mixon has done it consistently Mixon has done it year after year, dog. Year after year. Even when the Bengals were bad, he was still doing it. I don't know about that. Mixon's so consistent. Does he even get hurt? Does that dude even get hurt? Like, he's been in the league for how long now? He was playing. Wasn't he playing with Andy Dalton?
Mixon is nice. Mixon is nice,
Yeah,
but Eckler's nice too. I like Eckler's game too. He's an all-around back. You know what I mean? Passing game. He can run the ball as well. But there's a reason why the Chargers keep like drafting running backs that can run in between the tackles. You know what I mean? Because that's not a strength for them. Because Eckler is probably not a guy that they trust to do that a lot on a consistent basis. So
yeah, that man a boulder. That man is a boulder, ain't it? What the hell? Omar with the super, he says people are killing DC, saying we should trade him. The man had a 115 quarterback rating today and didn't turn the ball over. DC does have the it factor. DC has the it factor. DC has the it factor, bro. Like, he has the it factor. We've seen, you know how you just got done talking about how, the coaches and this. Herbert has never dealt with anything Carr has had to deal with.
All right.
And we're going to
I love DC, you know, as a QB for the Raiders. I think he's a good QB, a good guy, whatever. But I'm gonna take a page off your book. And I remember you said something on last night's show. You was telling me like I got to see it before I could make an assessment about the team. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna do the same thing with Derek Carr, man. I got to see it, man. I got to see it. I got to see him throw 3 touchdowns. I got to see him dominate a game. I got to see him win some playoff games before we come. At this point, I look at DC as a good QB, not a great QB. You know what I'm saying? And for you to say that he has an it factor and he hasn't won a playoff game, it's tough, man. It's tough.
I say he has the it factor. I mean, I can't fault off of that. I've seen him win tons of close games, And you talk about, you don't even start talking about playoffs, brother, because you know damn well.
And you know what, Jake,
like this. The Chargers draft good players. Rashawn Slater. We draft Alex Leatherwood, bro. We're talking about the same draft. Justin Herbert gets Rashawn Slater. Derek Carr gets Alex Leatherwood. The very next year, he ain't even here. So it's like, this is what Carr had to deal with. So it's like, when you say Carr has to prove it, what has Carr not like done to where, because you say 3 touchdowns, right? Today, Jacobs got 3 touchdowns on the ground from like what, the 4-yard line. Every one was from like from the 5 or less, I think.
Yeah, but also before we scored 31 points today, before we were scoring touchdowns in the red zone, we were struggling in red zone because we were trying to pass it rather than use Josh Jacobs. Now I'm not saying that's gonna be, you know, that's going to be moving forward. That's how it's always going to be. What I'm saying is that like our passing game is not as strong as our running game right now.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
So that's why I kind of brought up that point. But you know, DC, I'm just saying I'm waiting to see. I'm just waiting to see before I can say like, oh, he has the it factor and this, that, and the third, because he has all these. He's been around for like 9 years and he has all these stats that accumulate over years. And we just talked about how like stats can also like, you know, mislead you a little bit. You got to look at the whole context. At the end of the day, what we're waiting for as Raider fans, and we can all agree, win some playoff games, win a Super Bowl. Yeah. Like, come on, let's do that. Come on, like dominate. I want to see domination. I haven't seen it yet.
Well, he says, well, has Herbert done nothing? And it's funny because you watched that matchup last year, the season on the line. Who has the it factor? Who had the it factor?
And you know what I tell you? I seen Sherbert, however way you want to call him. You know, I seen him make some throws, and I'll say that their coach, bro, like that dude, he got to be one of like he's probably gonna get. You think he's gonna get fired at the end of the season? Let's be honest. Like, come on.
Yeah, probably he might at the end of the season, but
he went for it on the 30-yard line, bro. He went in a close game, 20-yard line. Like, who does that? Like, it was like 20 or 30-yard line. He went for it on 4th down in a close competitive game.
Did we score points?
I believe we scored 3 out of it. I think we scored 3.
We kicked the
At
field
least,
goal.
at least 3. We scored some. We scored some points. At least 3. Don't quote me on it. Y'all can check the stats or whatever. But
Yeah, someone gonna have to check. I think we didn't even score. For some reason, I feel like we didn't even score on that.
D-Mac, I don't hate Carr, bro. I'm just like realistic, man. I'm just realistic, man. I'm like, hey, he's a good QB.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with being a good QB, man.
But I feel like all the factors that you use to make a case for Herbert that you're not using for Carr.
Because
it's severely more dramatic for Carr, like severely.
You know what it is? Because Derek Carr, 9 years. That's all. 9 years. 9 years. Come on, y'all. 9 years. 9. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Herbert has only been in the league.
But yesterday on live, you were saying it's the first year of the system, so it's going to be time.
Yeah. And
Mandarin, and so when the receivers run the wrong routes, think about this: our wide receiver gets paid more than our quarterback, right?
Right.
He's running the wrong route, and he runs into another receiver, and at that point, it's kind of like, where do you look at the quarterback and say, "Yo, what?" Like at that point, you don't even look at the quarterback. You're just like, "Yo,"
and that's the messed up part about it is the fact that it has been 9 years, and Carr, unfair or not, like has dealt with like different coaching staffs, different offensive coordinators, different defense, like the terrible defenses, and then now he finally has like possibly a good coaching staff. You know what I mean? But there is obviously there's an adjustment period. But do you think that like who's the first to go? If someone had to go, would you think it's McDaniels or Carr? You get what I'm trying to say?
If who had to go first, I would say McDaniels.
Oh, wow. Even though with that contract they gave Carr, where it's like that 1 year out, you don't think
it's not really a 1 year out. It's more of he has a contract that's 3 more years left. There's like 3 more years left. What it is that the dead cap is only $5 million.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really like you can kind of cut him and you really don't get hurt. That's how his contract is set up. So his contract, he still has like 3 years left on his contract. Carr does,
right?
But the way it's set up is next year it goes up to $35 million, but his dead cap is $5 million. So if you cut him, you only lose $5 million, which really isn't a lot. I mean, that's less than Alex Leatherwood.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then the next year after that, it's $45 million that he gets paid. But the way it's set up is that basically he'll restructure. Like it would get restructured, basically how it would work. Because $45 million, I don't think we're going to pay him $45 million. That's too much. I don't know. But right. Omar says it's not an excuse, but let's be real. 6 first touchdowns to 6 first road to trash DC has never been the problem. I'm for drafting a quarterback, but give the man the defense. Let's be real. 6 first RD. What was he trying to say? To help me out with this one. I think it's a little typo real quick.
Bro, it's not an excuse, but let's be real. 6 first rounds to trash DC has never been the problem. I'm drafting a QB, but give the man the defense. Okay, man. Omar, man. It's not.
I'm trying to figure it out. Let's be real. 6 first what?
Oh, 6 first round. I just read it. The 6 first round to the trash DC has never been the problem. To the trash DC has never been a problem. I'm for drafting a QB, but give the man the defense. Okay. 6. Yeah. Hey, if you can reword it in the chat, Omar.
Just reword it, Omar.
We'll definitely help you out. Answer.
You're giving me a brain aneurysm real quick. SBT says, where are Carr's receivers from last year?
Hey, Zay Jones low-key killing with the Jaguars. He did get him hey, you know what? Salute. Hey, I will say this with Derek Carr, and this is why I'm saying he's a good QB. He has given like certain receivers contracts. If you think about it, like they came in, had good years with Derek Carr, and they got a new contract. Shout out Nelson Aguilar, Zay Jones got a contract, even the tight end Jared Cook. You know what I'm saying? So Carr's done some good things. I'm just saying, like, right now, I want to see some winning, man. Just like you were frustrated about the season. I'm like, come on, we got to win, bro. Like, come on, we had all these expectations and all that type of stuff. I'm also a fan of the team too, and I want them to win. So it's like, now it's no excuse.
Yeah, that was my whole thing this offseason. No excuses, right?
No excuses.
I've criticized the offense. You've heard
Right.
me criticize the offense. I mean, I've been getting killed criticizing the offense.
Right.
Rico says, name the last time a team made the playoffs with a defense outside of the top 20. Raiders did it last year. I mean, that and in the time that it happened, and the last time it happened, the last time we made the playoffs, the defense was 20th as well, which is crazy. So I don't know, man.
Name the last time a team made the playoffs with a defense outside of the top 20. The Raiders did it last year. Whew. Yeah, that's a good that's a good little question right there.
That's the only that's like we're like the only team that does this though.
Okay, we got our translator in the chat. Raider Ray says he was saying with 6 failed first round picks, no defenses, and a revolving door at head coach and offensive coordinators. Yeah, no, I know the story with Derek Carr. I know the story with Derek Carr, and Derek Carr is like a touchy subject with Raider Nation because you got people who are 100% like they're like crazy Derek Carr fans, or they're like crazy haters. You know what I mean? I'm kind of in between. We're like, you know what? I think he's a good QB, but at the same time, like, let's be honest. Like, hey, when you do have Devontae Adams, when you do have Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow, and when all these pieces and coaching staff, all this hype, we want to see like the result, and the result is. Go ahead.
So where do you differentiate he's in a first year system to he needs to perform? Like, where is that line? Where's that line? Because yesterday you were saying it's the first year.
I'm just saying, I'm just here to like, I'm just a fan of the team, and I'm just here to report the facts. But I'm not here to. I'm not a decision maker, y'all. Man, I wish I was. You know what I mean? That would actually be a cool job, be a decision maker for the Raiders. Probably be a stressful job, but at the end of the day, like I'm just reading between the lines. I'm like, they gave him a contract, and they kind of gave him some wiggle room to get out the contract. It's not a lot. Like, I know you explained it well, but at the same time, it is a way for them to get out if it doesn't work out, because this is a new regime. They don't know Derek Carr, even though they probably came here knowing that they had like a veteran QB that they wanted to that Josh McDaniels wanted to coach. At the end of the day, like, they don't want to be tied down to a quarterback that they didn't really draft, or had to, like, basically.
Yeah, I feel you. I definitely feel you. I don't think they get rid of Carr though. I just think it's too risky.
Even if the season goes left, even if this, I'm not saying if the season goes well. I'm saying like the season.
Yeah, even if the season goes left, because I feel like the only way you get rid of Carr is if he looks like Jimmy G or something. Like, Carr hasn't done anything. The thing is, Carr has to be bad, and it's like you're saying, like, you think Carr's a good quarterback, right?
Right.
Like,
Top 12.
He's good. So it's
Top
like
12.
you don't do anything there. You're just like, oh, I'm not going to mess with that. I'm not going to mess. I think that's how most coaches, most GMs feel, because you have to take a risk. Like, to go away from that, you'd be taking a huge risk. Like, Carr's not Andy Dalton. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, Andy Dalton, when he was on the Bengals, you could tell, like, bro, y'all got to get rid of Andy Dalton. Y'all need to get a new dude. Carr's not that. Carr's not Andy Dalton. Like, Carr's actually pretty good. So I feel like you wouldn't really do that, because you kind of hurt. You'll shoot yourself in the foot, because how many teams are really looking for a damn quarterback? All teams look for a quarterback all the time. And how many times would they get stuck looking for that quarterback? I mean, the Niners have been looking for the last 30 years,
but
trying to find a new quarterback to help them get to win a Super Bowl. And they've had a defense to get them there every time. JT says Russell Wilson got Legion of Boom as a security blanket. Carr gets Deshaun Jackson. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, that's crazy. He said Deshaun Jackson. But I've talked about that. This was kind of my defense for Carr. All these, like, last year I defended Carr so much, right?
Right.
This was my defense, was basically when you look at all the quarterbacks winning a Super Bowl, it's usually they have a top 10 defense. Aaron Rodgers, when he won a Super Bowl, it was the number one defense. Both times Russell Wilson, like JT was saying, both times Russell Wilson went, it was the number one defense in the league. Tom Brady averaged a top 10 defense his entire career. Averaged the top 10 defense, like, and he has a lot of Super Bowls. You can imagine, if you average a damn top 10 defense, you'll probably win a couple of Super Bowls. So defense is very critical when it comes to quarterback play.
No, yeah, you're saying that, like, having a defense definitely helps out a quarterback because it doesn't put a lot of pressure on him. I get that 100%. I know I've been a Raider fan just like everybody else for a long time. I've seen every Raider team. I've seen the Terrell Pryors. I've seen the Rick Myers. You know what I mean? Like Matt McGloin's, Marcus Tuiasosopo. I've seen bad quarterback play. I've seen it from all different ranges. So I know what Derek Carr is, and I know that he's a good QB. It's just the fact that we haven't been winning, and I think fans are frustrated and they're trying to figure it out, but they're not realizing like the foundation has been terrible for Derek Carr for sure. But now that we have a Devontae Adams and we have all these players and the coaching staff, what I'm saying is that like at some point in this season, it is a possibility. I'm just saying it's a possibility that Josh McDaniels could look at Derek Carr one day and be like, yeah, I'm not going to win a Super Bowl with this QB. I think you know what I mean. Like
I don't think so, man. I don't think so.
It's possible. I'm saying it's possible. It's possible. I don't know why that's like crazy to even think about. Like,
I mean, yeah,
because we talk about
the Joe Burrow fact that it's possible. I can't take away the fact that it's possible, right? You can't take that away,
right? Because I can tell you're a big Derek Carr fan, man.
Yeah, of course. You watched you was with me last year having the defenders win. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because this year people will literally tell me like, oh, you're a Carr hater, blah blah. I'm like, bro, what? You must not even you definitely have not watched my stuff, bro, because I defended this dude all last year. It even caused rift amongst damn Raider Nation. You know what I mean? Defending this dude. So shout out to Omar with the super chat. This is where we're gonna leave it, man. We're on here for a minute, longer than I usually on. But Omar drops a super. He says, "Bro, half the people who are saying to trade Carr crapped the bed when he got hurt today. We need to put everything next year into the defense, including salary." And it's a funny point, Omar, because people did get a little worried when Carr went down. Some people did get worried. I honestly, I wasn't too worried. I felt like I knew he was gonna get back up. I ain't gonna cap. I'm like, you know what, Carr gonna get back up. That dude tough. He got a little bump. Give him a little Band-Aid, whatever he need, and have him go back out there. But
I like Raider Ray's comment right now. If you want to go to it, he has a good answer.
But definitely what he's saying right here, we need to put everything next year into the defense, and I think that's what's going to happen. I don't know about the salary cap. I think we might be very limited there. But as far as draft picks, we're going to probably get a middle linebacker. We're probably going to get a defensive tackle and another safety. I would not be surprised if we went and got a super fast DBs. I wouldn't be surprised. Raider Ray says you don't replace Carr without a clear upgrade. Unless you're getting a stud rookie, you're going to set this offense back. Keep Carr in the system. This is a 3-year window. Josh and Carr will work together. I 100% agree with everything he's saying in this, man. I talked about it on the show when we were all together that Mark Davis is not going to fire Josh McDaniels. And another thing is, I don't think Mark Davis would let that fly. I honestly wouldn't. I don't think Mark Davis would let Josh McDaniels let go of Carr. I think Mark Davis would stop it, and he would let go of Josh McDaniels before he would let go of Carr. Personally, I think.
Wow.
One reason I say that is because Carr has actually been with Mark Davis since he's taken over the team. Carr's since Al Davis nearly passed away. Carr has been here nearly most of that time. 3 regimes, man.
And salute Samuel Reyes. He says Pharaoh ain't making much sense. Okay, what actually doesn't make any sense, man? Like, to be honest with you, I
think it's more along the lines of Pharaoh's being a devil's advocate than
I'm just keeping it real. I'm just being honest. You can't be a homer. You know what I mean? I can't watch a game and be like, oh, everything is nice and sugar and spice. You can't. I can't look at a game like that. I know that, hey, things don't work out. Sometimes it does. Yeah. I mean, if you've been a Raider fan long enough, you've seen every type of dysfunction, every type of ways to lose, and then you also can see teams outside of the Raiders, and you see how they're winning and what makes them consistent winners. And at the end of the day, hey, if Derek Carr can't get it done, are you going to be honest enough and say, okay, we need to get another QB? Or are you going to be like, nah, Derek Carr is going to be our QB forever? Nah, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a decision maker at the end. I'm just a fan, and I root for the team as well. But there's decision makers with the Las Vegas Raiders. definitely evaluating his team. They're evaluating like the offense, the defense, all the players that's on the team, including Derek Carr. But at the end of the day, I want it to work out. That's all I'm saying. I want it to work out, but come on, man, you can't be a homer, bro. You can't be a homer.
You said don't be a homer. No,
Don't be a homer.
Definitely can't be a homer. You know damn well I ain't no damn homer either, man.
Nah,
I'll
you're not
somebody quick as hell. I'll be quick. I'll be the first one. I'll be the first one to hop out there and be like, hold up, this. And then I'll start getting flamed by everybody on Twitter, just like I have the last damn 3 days now. But this shit even dragged over to Instagram. Dude won't stop tagging me and posting. Like, dude will post me, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
What dude are you talking about?
This dude on Instagram, this dude will just tag me and like say stuff like, "Oh, you don't want to bet? I got a spread on the Raiders and this, that, and third, and this. You just trying to find a sponsor or something." I'm like, "What are you talking about, dog?" Like, and then like I said, "What are you talking about?" And then he recorded deleting my message asking him, "What are you talking about?" and then posted it. And I'm like, "Why did you tag me in this? Like, what are you doing? I don't know. You a weirdo."
Okay, Sam, and I know you don't got a lot of time left, and I appreciate you for having me on. But Samuel says you explain why Carr is a good QB, but you still think we're losing because of him. I didn't say that.
No, he did. No, it's he was making an argument about one thing versus a whole nother.
We actually we had like a lot of different. We're talking about Herbert, Sherbert, however you want to call it. We were talking about Joe Burrow. We're comparing those two QBs. Then we start talking about Derek Carr. Because we were just talking about Derek Carr, and then that situation.
I think this team's gonna be together unless something dramatic happens, right? Like last year, unless something crazy dramatic happens. I think this is gonna be the nucleus for the next 3 years. Like I said yesterday, Mark Davis doesn't like firing coaches. He doesn't like moving like key pieces a lot. He doesn't like doing that. You can like think about it. He's had like. It'd be hard to say he hasn't had any say at all whatsoever, like keeping Carr throughout 3 regimes. Like since the moment John Gruden got here, Carr's gone. John Gruden, he's gonna want to get rid of Carr.
Right.
4 freaking years, and he was still here with Josh McDaniels, and now Josh McDaniels. So, I think Carr's fine, and Mark Davis is gonna make sure that they stick together because he doesn't want to keep changing stuff. He let JDR go 4 years. He let John Gruden. John Gruden went 4 years, and then he did what he had to do, and now Josh McDaniels is going to get his at least. He's going to get at least 2 to 3 years, at the least, in my opinion.
Yeah, he should. A coach should at least get 2 years. For
sure. And that's why I respect Mark Davis and how he does things because he lets guys come in and he lets them do what they need to do for at least 3 years or so to build something up. And with JDR, 3 years, made the playoffs. The 4th year, we regressed, and he fired him. We made the playoffs the 4th year of Gruden, but we know how all that went. Now we're on Josh McDaniels. But, show was fire, man. I appreciate you pulling up. Went crazy long. It's been. I think this is the first time this year I've gone this long on a live, man. So
it's all good, man.
You pulling up.
It's after a win, so that's the most important thing.
Yeah, most definitely, bro. Make sure y'all go follow Pharaoh. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and let you. You got any last words for the people, man? Let them know what's good.
Hey, man, all I'm saying, I want DC to be the quarterback of the future. I want him to score 40 touchdowns this season. You know what I mean? I just want to see it. That's all I'm saying. I want to see it. I want the Raiders to go to the playoffs. I want us to win a Super Bowl. And I make fire Raider content as well. I had Raid on last night with my co-host Raider Ray. We had a fire show. So check that out. And I drop content damn near every week. So you can find me at Pharaoh NFL, PHAROAH NFL on YouTube. The road to 1K continues. I'm trying to get to that special number. If y'all could really support me, I know Raider Nation supports everybody, so I'm not really too concerned about that. But if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And yeah, for sure, appreciate it.
Yes, most definitely, man. Yep, y'all already know what it is. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out, y'all. Appreciate y'all pulling up. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, Good Morning Nation, 8:45 Pacific Standard Time. Y'all know what we're doing, the Best Raiders morning show on the damn tube. You feel me?
Yes,
Make sure to follow on Instagram and Twitter and check our Redemption brand. Appreciate everybody pulling up. We're going to leave it here with our guy, Jeff Garrison. Appreciate you pulling up, another member. Oh, shoot, Hadamaki was in here too. Shout out to Hadamaki, man. Yo, Hidden Cloud Village, you know what it is. Appreciate everybody pulling up, man. Until next time, ready to tape, y'all.
Good show. Peace.